Not the Chuddle.
Chuddle. Surprise.
Whoa.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So good. If What the Actual Fuck was a movie, out of the mist and into the fog, it's Chuddle the Pod. Welcome, Chuddle Club members, to a brand new meeting of the Chuddle the Pod Horror Movie Club. My name is Ross, and I'm joined by my co-occupants of the pod, Brian and Sam.
Serp.
Eat your heart out, listeners, because we're hunting down Jason Voorhees, with 2 O's, and hoping we don't get burned by brimstone, because we're covering 1993's Jason Goes to Hell, currently for rent in a whole lot of places. It's not streaming anywhere, so I figured, yeah, just rent it. But before we get into our film for today, we have our fellow spelunkers of the spectral, our podcast comrades who have battled super rabies and death itself with us. That's right, we have Cody and Sergio from the Horror Bandwagon.
Fuck yeah. You guys thought you got rid of us.
I loved when I actually could write down has battled super rabies and death itself and was completely factual while
it
doing
actually
that.
is.
Yeah.
We physically have done that in actual life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We have that
And
experience.
we covered movies where that happened.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we also
That's
covered
why
the
we
movies.
had them on for those
Coincidentally,
movies.
You thought they were
Yeah.
you thought they were dead, but like a worm, evil worm, they jumped from the Final Destination franchise to the Friday the 13th franchise.
Yeah.
Franchise.
And
Nice.
got in.
Yeah.
So,
There
know,
you go.
so
What a
I'm tying
perfect
together.
one to do it on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It worked out that way.
This is a pretty gooey. This is a pretty gooey choice to hop in on. We appreciate you.
No, you got it. You got it. We've also known a Jason, in our past, so we felt we drop in.
Oh,
Hey.
and just in case you don't know, we like to keep it moderately spoil free up top, and we'll let you know when the spoilers puke slugs. I can't even get through that one. All right, sorry. We'll let you know when the spoiler puke slugs come out and try to French you.
Spoilers, puke slugs.
The spoiler puke slugs.
Spoilers, puke
Spoiler
slugs.
puke slugs. Again, I had so much fun typing this out.
The spoiler puke slugs.
Spoiler puke slugs.
And last but certainly not least, we have a Patreon, and we got to shout out our Coven of Witches. Your sacrifice gives us Chuddle mana, and we thank you for your beautiful souls.
Thank your souls.
Yeah, we've got a private Discord for our Coven members. They actually
mad private.
It's
It's
mad
super
private.
So
private.
private,
it's an
so exclusive.
oasis of atrocities right there. We also have kind of a new perk that I'm going to bring up now and didn't run it by either one of you guys. They get bonus episodes. They get Patreon exclusive episodes. More importantly, we are now having a cycle where the Patreon picks the theme for the cycle. And the first one they picked is Italian cinema.
Oh, yes.
So the Patreon...
It's going to be some scary movies.
I almost used the Mario voice, but I was like, maybe over the top. And then Sam, you jump right in. I appreciate it.
Those are Supreme Chuddlers,
this
right?
is
So we
not
all
Sam.
gave them
To be specific.
That's
be
Samuel. So yeah, we all gave the patrons a choice, and then our Supreme Chuddlers were able to vote on that one and
Correct. Yes.
figure out
Gotta
what we
be
were
the
doing.
top tier.
It's kind of cool. If you want to be part of that, if you want to have the power of a cinema god and make us watch stuff like that, feel free to jump on in the Patreon and sign up and tell us what to do. You know what? If people are bossing you around, boss us around for money.
Fuck yeah. And you also get our personal numbers. No, I'm kidding.
You heard it here.
You heard it here.
Bonus.
You're going to get the Horror Bandwagon personal address, phone number, and social security numbers. So hop on there.
That's going to be at the Chuddle the auction. That's what we're going to feel.
Okay, perfect. Look out for that.
Oh, God. All right, let's hop on into our spoiler-free toe tag line. The secret of Jason's evil is revealed. It is up for... Is it up? Sorry, I guess I'm possessed by Jason while doing this. It is up to the last remaining descendant of the Voorhees family to stop Jason before he becomes immortal and unstoppable. This is the final battle to end Jason's reign of terror forever. Wasn't he indestructible, unstoppable, and immortal anyways?
He's been stopped at least once every time we've seen him, right?
He seems resurrectable.
Stoppable.
Is that?
He's immortal but stoppable.
Mortal and resurrectable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe.
It seems.
I also love the poster one-liner where evil has finally found a home.
Sure.
I always just assumed it was Camp Crystal Lake, but I'm assuming now there's a second home, a physical home. Actually, we actually do get to see Jason's home in this movie.
That's true.
Yeah, in case you didn't know that New Jersey was already hell, there is an actual hell.
Actual hell pit in New Jersey.
Hey, Ross, quick question.
Yeah.
Did we begin tonight's meeting officially?
Oh no, we never officially opened the. Oh my dear goodness, I've been possessed by Jason this entire episode. Hey, let's take a moment. Everyone's accounted for, right? Let's unearth the goo book out of the basement and officially open this meeting up.
Give me that goo. Oh yeah.
Perfect.
Now my own voice in my ear holes. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
It's so deep and bassy.
That literally went into a piece of my brain. It just touched it.
It wormed its way in there.
It wormed in there.
A lot like this film, we're just going to be moving around segments, editing, re-editing. There's going to be a lot of reshoots going on.
Everything, exactly. While we're here, I'm going to give this t-shirtable number.
Just throw out a random finger at this point. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, God. All right. Well, even insanely reshot and just wackadoo movies are made by people. Who made this one? Jason Goes to Hell was directed by Adam Marcus at the young age of 23.
At the young age of 23.
By the young old age of 23. Also written by himself, Jay Hughley, and Dean Laurie. It stars, there is quite a cast in this one. We have John D. LeMay as Steven, Carrie Keegan as Jessica, Kane Hodder as Jason Voorhees, and a security guard. Also... Well, we'll get to that later. Stephen Williams as Creighton Duke.
Shout out. He's Rufus in Supernatural for all you Supernatural freaks out there.
Oh, yeah. Did you know that? You like Supernatural?
Also in X-Files.
Yeah, he's X.
I'm trying to remember.
He's X in X-Files.
It's been many years since I watched Supernatural.
Mm-hmm. I'm currently watching it, so...
We got Stephen Culp as Robert Campbell, Aaron Gray as Diana Kimball, Rusty Schwimmer as Joey B. I love Joey B in this fucking movie. Oh my god, Rusty Schwimmer. Richard Grant is the coroner. Leslie Jordan is Shelby. Billy Green Bush is Sheriff Landis, and the list kind of just goes on and on. All right, guys. I actually really want to get into this one. Let's get into.
It's time for the gore.
Let's get into it's time for the gore meter.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think that's what I was supposed to press.
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
Okay,
no, you hit it right on. There wasn't, like certain things, there wasn't exposition enough for that, so this hops into it. Basically, on a scale of 1 to 10, Psycho to the Sadness, how gory is this movie?
It's gooey.
I'm having trouble because I also watched the unrated version twice, which is definitely gooier than the theatrical cut.
This is a weird one. Okay, because they filmed a lot of goo and gore because they knew even after the theatrical release they were going to be doing an unrated version for video stores. So I watched the unrated one. So this is kind of what I'm basing it off of. Unrated.
Yeah, that's what I'm basing it off of, because I feel like it's like that was their intent from the beginning.
Is the unrated what you watched? Did everybody watch the unrated one? Everybody except Brian? He was like, "Oh, I'm going to watch the theatrical."
I don't know what I watched. I just watched whatever was rentable on Amazon.
That's the uncut. No, that's uncut.
The uncut.
Yeah,
that's the uncut. Yes, we all rented from the exact same space, and that was the uncut one.
Beautiful. Okay, yeah. Then I mean, I was going to give it probably around a 7.5. I felt like it's pretty gory and gooey.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and relatively consistent. So
honestly, mine's right on the money. Mine's are sitting right about 7.5 to an 8. Like the K&B effects on the goo and the gore on this are amazing.
Yeah, agreed. I honestly was kind of surprised. I was like, "Oh shit!
Yes.
Okay, all right." I was actually pretty great about this.
Well, then, as someone who did watch the theatrical cut as well, because I watched the unrated on October, Friday the 13th, and then that was my first watch, and then I watched the theatrical cut at some point in between, and then just watched the unrated again before this. And the theatrical cut is way less gooey. There's like some really awesome stuff in the unrated that we saw that is not in the theatrical.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do think that there were parts that I think could have been a little gooier. Maybe like I think if it was made today, there were parts that would have been gooier. Just like I don't want to spoil anything, but there were also parts where it got gooey. So yeah,
very gooey.
I don't know, unexpectedly.
Yes, but this movie has a lot of unexpected goo.
It was
there's a lot.
Funny.
There's fucking a lot.
There's some oh man.
No, right there it is. Do you have a weird setup?
No.
Who is the horror forward?
I feel like we need Creighton Duke to just like force the exposition to happen through this podcast.
Yes, Creighton Duke needs to be in the woods, just being like,
but not his fault.
Exposition proceed. He's literally, his name should have just been MacGuffin.
McMuffin.
All right, so this question pretty much asking what kind of horror subgenre it belongs to, how to watch it. Group both beginners. Okay, so now I finally get to say this and not be corrected. It is a supernatural horror movie. This now is a supernatural horror movie.
Yeah.
Supernatural slasher.
Yeah.
Supernatural slasher? Yeah, totally.
Supernatural slasher?
But I wouldn't be upset if you called this a supernatural movie and left it there.
Yeah.
As opposed to like other ones that he's tried to. Yeah. Jason Takes Manhattan isn't a supernatural movie.
No. Even though there is hallucinations,
it has aspects. Yeah.
Exactly. No, this one is straight up. We went to like D&D fantasy
Possession.
daggers and stuff.
It's
so like
it's there. We'll get into the thick of it, but I agree.
So
yeah. I feel like this one, you can watch it alone. This one feels like you should have a bunch of friends over to watch Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Though I feel like you could have some alone fun time, just laughing to yourself.
I was going to ask what kind of a long fun time we're having.
Just popping an edible, sitting back, and just fucking watching what the fuck is
there
happening.
Also is a decent amount of nudity.
It is pretty wild.
There is a decent amount of nudity in this movie.
Fun alone time.
Alone time.
Okay.
It's actually pretty graphic. I was like, oh my God, we're like short of actually insertion. So I was like, okay.
You can finish it up with some Antichrist for that.
Yes.
Oh!
The super remix. Just put in. It's actually funny enough. Camp Crystal Lake is only 1.5 miles from Eden.
Oh. That's the crossover I want to see.
Eden, Camp Crystal Lake, hell. Oh, that's convenient.
That'll do it. Is this movie for beginners? I mean, this is a weird one enough that I honestly think you could watch this as a beginner.
I think the opposite. I think that like as a beginner, this is not going to give you like what a normal horror movie would be. I almost think that it's like you're going to watch and be like,
what the fuck? This is this.
You want me to watch are they all like this?
Right,
like
exactly. No,
90s ass horror movie.
It really is.
Yeah. quintessential 1993 horror movie right here.
It is quintessential 1993.
Quintessential. I think we should probably get our thumbs out because we're all going to head to Camp Crystal Lake, but we first got to reach the
spoiler zone.
Mm-hmm.
The Mothman has nothing to say.
Oh,
besides, we moved it for Antichrist, and I actually think it fits a little better having it post spoilers for the Harbinger of Doom. I think, honestly, besides, I don't know, demonic necrophilia.
That's pretty gross.
It's pretty gross.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
Yeah, we've got that one. That one, I would say that one's kind of heavy.
There's no animal stuff, is there? It feels like there should be animal stuff. Doesn't this feel like a movie?
That's actually
wasn't there a dog?
yeah, but dog's fine.
But the dog was safe.
The dog
though,
is totally fine.
So you're good. You're good.
Honestly, Sam, I think that's the tagline underneath "Evil has found a new home."
Feels like there should have been dog stuff or animal stuff.
Animal stuff. Yes.
It feels like
There was for a second possible baby stuff. Where I was like, whoa,
yes.
whoa.
Endangerment to a child is throughout this entire thing.
Yeah. For sure.
But I mean, like, besides that, it's over the top kind of just horror stuff.
Yeah.
But I really don't think there's a whole lot of trigger warnings past that.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
suppose there isn't.
All right, Sam.
Yeah.
I'm handing this over to you. My man Sam has got all of the IMD behind the scenes. Well, not all of them.
Let's
I have a
do
few in the
it.
actual thing. But
Behind the scenes, not behind the
IMDb
scenes.
IMDb?
Behind the scenes.
I have to behind the scenes.
IMD behind the scenes.
behind the
I
scenes.
am behind the scenes. I am behind the scenes.
Guys, it's the Internet Movie Data behind the scenes.
Yes. That's fair. Thank you. The voice of reason, ladies.
Yes.
I don't know why I said just ladies. I don't know. Sorry.
This is actually the ladies' night. Oops, all Jason episode.
Oh yeah, that's
my
the
God.
Jason Goes to Hell.
Jason series. No, the second. Shit.
Oh,
It's
fuck.
almost over.
Okay.
All right. So I did watch some behind the scenes stuff, but that'll just get sprinkled in. This is just from IMDb behind the scenes. So this is called Jason Goes to Hell instead of Friday Part 9 or whatever, because New Line bought the rights from, what was it, Paramount? Yeah. So that's why it didn't have Friday the 13th in the name. They only
Just
bought the
the
rights to
character.
the Jason Voorhees name. Nothing else in the series. Because Adam Marcus wanted the character of Stephen Freeman, the main guy, the nerdy dude with the glasses, to be Tommy Jarvis. But they didn't buy the rights to Tommy Jarvis, so he couldn't do it.
So Tommy became
But
Steven.
that character, essentially, think of that character as Tommy Jarvis. You just kind of changed the name. One early concept for this movie was Jason Goes to LA, in which two rival gangs would be fighting, and then Jason would show up and start murdering them. The rival gangs band together to defeat Jason, which,
Nice.
oh man, I wish we had gotten that instead.
That could still happen. I feel that could still happen.
Be more difficult than early mid-90s was ripe for that.
That would have been
type of movie.
Lumpy Jason fighting
yeah.
gang members would have been fantastic.
You're right.
Bumpy Jason.
Director Adam Marcus's decision to cast an African-American actor as Creighton Duke was influenced by George Romero's continued casting of African-Americans as heroes in his films, in spite of the turbulent political climate when the films were made. Marcus wanted to continue this trend and chose Stephen Williams for the role. Tony Todd auditioned for the role of Creighton Duke, but obviously lost out.
I know you're going to say this a little bit. I love the fact that Stephen Williams only agreed to it, but he had to dress as a cowboy.
I
Yes.
love that.
He's
Absolutely.
like,
I think it added to it.
I do
It
think
really
it added
did.
to it.
Oh, 100%.
If Creighton
Good decision.
was a different character at all, I don't think it would have landed as well.
Well, he was supposed to be a totally like this. I think it'll come up in a second. According to interviews, this is kind of fucked up. If true, hope it's not. According to interviews in the Crystal Lake Memories book, Stephen Williams, who played Creighton Duke, had a habit of flashing females on set.
Oh Jesus!
Is that why he had the trench coat on the entire time?
That's why he insisted on being a cowboy. It's the easiest way to do it.
And that one line that he says in this movie makes a lot of sense now.
He fought for that word.
Yeah, he did.
There were plans for a high-tech video game based on this movie, and the game was created, but it was never released. How wild is that?
How high tech would it have been?
What was this high? Yeah.
N64 at most.
No,
wait, no, this is 93. Oh, this is like Sega Saturn.
Tootsie Roll hadn't even come out yet.
This is a high-tech video. Like, come on, man. This is... It's its own entertainment system. It's the Jason Voorhees entertainment system.
It's a hawk. You get a hawk and you put it on. And
it's a VR set.
A machete.
Wow.
It's high tech.
Oh yeah, that's what it was for. It was for Virtual Boy. What the fuck was that called?
Oh God, yeah.
All right. The scene with the campers having sex in the tent was added later by the producers after they complained that the movie didn't have enough sex and nudity.
And you know what? It didn't. So
and they solved that.
Thank you.
Yeah, how many other genres can you go to the producers and they come back and they're like, this needs more sex?
Right?
Yeah. Excuse me, I didn't see a lot of sex in this, and we specifically asked for more sex. Could we have really uncomfortable dry sex in a tent? Absolutely.
When we bought Jason Voorhees, we bought the sex too. All right. Due to problems on set, Sean S. Cunningham took over as the director for the final few days of filming. Toby Hooper was originally considered for the job, but Adam Marcus was chosen because he was the best friend of Sean Cunningham's son. Noel Cunningham.
Okay.
And he
Gotta love that.
Grown up a family friend. He had been working on the Sean Cunningham's movies since he was 11.
Is that like
doing different things?
Nepotism by osmosis?
Yeah. He had Adam Marcus had also written a movie and sold it to the Disney Channel or something. But
my boyfriend's back.
Yes.
Oh, I will cover that one day on here.
Interesting because Toby Hooper, obviously we know, and then Adam Marcus wrote the 2013 Texas Chainsaw movie.
Oh,
wow.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
No way.
The guy who wrote and directed this wrote the...
Yeah.
Wait, the 2013? I don't think I saw that one.
Yeah, it's on his IMDb.
Wait, hold on. Let me double check which one.
What's that
Maybe
one
I'm
called?
confusing things.
That's the Jessica Biel one, right?
No, that's like 2003.
Original title, Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Jessica Biel is 2003.
Oh, yeah, I know which one.
I confused it. This is
Uncle Leatherface in the basement. Okay, yes,
yeah,
I know which one this is. Yeah.
So he did a
honestly,
Texas
I've seen
Chainsaw
it reads.
Right. There's a tie there. And we just said the thing about Toby Hooper. You get it? At just 23 years old, Adam Marcus is the youngest director to direct a Friday the 13th, but ultimately he made what is considered by many to be the worst in the series. Adam Marcus made as many first-time director mistakes as you'd expect. For example, he originally had an 8-minute sequence in non-stop slow motion, which was a diner massacre.
The diner? Oh, my God.
8 minutes of slow motion.
Yes.
Okay, so apparently I read that, there was supposed to be someone watching the dailies coming in, but no one did that. So, he's literally producing all of this stuff, and then, everyone's so... about getting to the next scenes and the next filming the next stuff that no one was actually supervising what was being shot, and most of it was most of it they couldn't use.
Oh no.
Yes.
Well, when I was watching the documentary, I saw interviews with him, and he was just like, "Oh shit!" Once I walked on set, I was like, "We're making a movie," and I realized I've never shot this kind of movie. And I'm like, "What? How does that happen?"
Pretty amazing.
The true definition of fake it till you make it.
Seriously, I would have anxiety every single day. I truly would.
Of everything they shot, they were able to salvage about 45 to 50 minutes of his original work. As much as 43 minutes of the final movie came via reshoots and repurposed footage. During that process, some storylines were completely dropped. like the sheriff and the mom, the waitress mom.
Diane.
They were engaged in planning a honeymoon. The Creighton Duke had been hunting Jason for a while after Jason killed his girlfriend, and that's how he knew all this stuff about what was going on with Jason and was able to explain it all, and why he has that line about seeing him again.
Yes.
Oh my God.
None of that. Yeah. That's so
That
funny.
kind of makes sense though now, because a lot of this movie felt like something was missing. I'm like,
a lot.
Yeah, it's a fever dream. It's a
really
fever dream of a movie.
There's a lot of stuff confused as the relationship of characters and what's happening.
It just felt like, where am I? How am I supposed to follow this? Like,
So even after all that, Sean S. Cunningham still found the finished film beyond embarrassing, saying, Adam came to me and said, the last thing the fans want to see is Jason going through Camp Crystal Lake chopping up teenagers again. Of course, it was the only thing wanted to see, and Adam delivered this movie that was so not good. And then, according to a co-writer, he said the biggest mistake was writing a baby into the story.
And that was the mistake. That was the line.
And Creighton Duke's sudden appearance in lore despite never being mentioned in the last 8 films. And some of the rules to kill Jason.
And yes, so most of the movie. So the entire movie.
I like that it was just like kept going and going.
I just like I wish that like we knew why this was like this sudden change of direction, because I feel like the 9th movie is not when you change the recipe.
Well,
I feel like they made this movie to Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sean Cunningham directed the writer-director Adam Marcus that he wanted as little of the hockey mask in it as possible. Why? I don't know.
Sean Cunningham originally, from what I remember, his original vision, I guess, was from the first one, right? Because Jason wasn't really involved. Right. And then it turned into this, like, just Jason can't be masked. Not masked. Hold up. Let me go back. You know, some people.
It's fine.
It's a mess.
But then I'm speaking for Sean S. Cunningham. And then Sean S. Cunningham comes back and is like, all right, let's get rid of Jason now. Let's see what else we could do with him.
Totally. Because this was like
a
weird.
Bought that character. Why would you do that? It's crazy.
Why would you?
Well, I think initially they were trying to do a Freddy versus Jason, and then when Wes Craven was going to be doing New Nightmare, they kind of made this movie as an interloper between that. Just to be like, okay, so at least you'll know who Jason is. So by the time we eventually get to Freddy versus Jason down the pike, like you're going to be able to kind of like, he's still in theaters.
Because New Line was a Freddy movie, but Adam Marcus was given no direction. Is that his name? Yeah. Was given no direction to include Freddy in the movie. That shot that we do see, he asked them, he was like, hey, I'm thinking about putting this in there. Is that all right? Knowing that they'd say yes, because they obviously bought the character to do this. It was like, I could almost hear him high-fiving in the background. They were so happy about it.
I feel bad for Kane Hodder, because he comes back at Jason at the beginning, at the end, and then wait, we're in spoiler talk, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay. So he comes in little bits here and there too, but I love some background stuff that I heard was that they were like, "Oh, I'm so glad that we kept Kane Hodder around because he can teach everybody else how to be Jason," and apparently that didn't go through as well.
Some people listened to him, some people didn't, and you can clearly tell who listened to him and who didn't in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Also, I feel like they did Kane a little dirty in this too, is that, and it's I'm not blaming Kane BFX but in most of in the last 2 installments where Kane was Jason, he could take his physical hockey mask off. So like in between takes and stuff like that, in this apparatus that was like lumpy headed Jason, the mask is fused to the prosthetics and stuff. So when he had it on, he physically couldn't take that hockey mask off the entire shoot. So like he'd have to be taken out
wasn't
of
in it that
makeup.
much.
Yes, he's like, oh man,
Not worth it either. I hate the way this Jason looks.
I agree.
Always
Are we
figured
ready
out.
to talk about
Chunky
this
Boy
movie?
Jason? Let's do it. Okay, hold on. We have the Who Picked It Why in history. I had a little tidbit for this. I picked this because, well, I didn't. But if we're covering the Friday the 13th franchise, we have to cover all of them, even when the movie doesn't own the rights to Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah, so technically you could have just skipped this one.
Technically.
It's
weird. Like these
Not
are
if it's
okay.
his
So
fault, Jason.
in the canon, like I don't know, man. Like the new line ones have just Jason in it, but it's I don't know. I feel like as a completionist, Sam should probably watch, or
for sure.
probably felt inclined to watch all of them.
Precisely. And I've also watched the remake and Freddy vs. Jason as well, even though we're not covering them for the pod.
Right. All right, guys. Let's venture into hell. Let's get into Jason Goes to Hell. We get a classic view of the lake, and I laughed audibly out loud the second this car pulled up because it's a Sam car. The license plate is 1207 SUP. And I was like, it's a Sam mobile. All right, so we get the classic Friday. Oh, also classic Friday the 13th score. We have the original.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
doing this one.
The man Frandini himself.
Right. So we get our lone lady in a wooden log cabin in the middle of the woods. Classic Friday the 13th canon, light bulb explodes.
All the tropes. Yeah.
All the tropes. She goes to the shed, the door slams, we get more broken light bulbs.
Honestly, it's so
then we get an
boring.
entire sequence of her just changing a light bulb. I feel that this entire thing where like she pulls the ladder out and then and then gets up on the ladder and then unscrews this thing is a real, some may say a red flag. I like to say that this director really was a completionist in what he was filming. Is that there's so many extended, elongated scenes, and this is stuff that was still in it, that it wasn't edited out. But more importantly, we get our gratuitous shower scene like in every Friday the 13th. This is so
It's just hitting
by
all
the
notes.
textbook.
He
Absolutely.
said, the director said he was trying to shove as much into the beginning from the other movies as possible, because pretty shortly after this, it is not like a Friday the 13th movie ever
Absolutely not.
begins.
Not even close. This is the closest we're getting. So, lights go off again, and we have our first and final girl, in the towel kind of investigating, and surprise, we get Jason. And Jason this time is a hockey mask welded into his face, elephant man looking. It is a chunky boy.
He's a bit of a chunky boy, this one.
He's a little bit of a chunky boy. But he still tucks his shirt in. It's weird.
It's proper.
You got to be proper when you're doing it, especially when your clothes are almost melting into your body. I don't know. It's really funny that this was one of the first masks I bought as a kid, was a Jason Goes to Hell mask.
Really?
Because it was like, I don't know, it was at like a local Halloween shop, and it was like, this is awesome. Because
I hate this Jason
1993
so much.
Ross was so into this movie.
Funny enough, my brother dressed up as the Jason X version of him. So I think that was technically our first costume of Jason.
Oh, that's awesome.
We have to wait a little bit of time.
Oh, that's great. Was it old school one or mech one?
The what?
Was it like old school, like the beginning of the movie,
pre or
Jason, or is
post?
it?
Revision.
Oh, okay, yeah, metal mask Jason.
generated Jason.
So good. All right. So yeah, she gets thrown down and off from the second floor to the first floor. She rolls over cars and bolts in the wood, and then Jason is grunt. There's so much grunting.
He's so grunty.
And there is so grunty. And not only is he grunty, they dubbed so much grunting in this movie. Like the diner scene alone has everyone being like,
They asked for more sex. I don't know what to tell you.
and then the Foley artist got the note instead of the actual director. He's like, I'm trying to make as many sex sounds as possible. This is ridiculous. one of my favorite tidbits, and I even caught this as a child. Like, that's how ridiculous this editing is. When she's bolting through the woods and then Jason is like grunt wheezing behind her, she goes from having bare feet to boots twice during that sequence. So like she's hauling ass barefoot, and then all of a sudden she has like literal combat boots on, and then it goes back until she gets to the open clearing as she like, you know, she gets to the open clearing and then runs away in a completely different pair of shoes than the combat boots that you just saw 30 seconds ago. So there was a
third shot of different
ones. Yes.
Footwear.
And whammo,
oh, no.
we get a trap for Jason Voorhees in his own woods. With like
this
3
is
dozen
ridiculous.
3 dozen
I
cops.
felt so like secondhand embarrassment for Jason because he was just there. The lights go on him like it's a football game, and he's like, and I'm like,
Sergio, I'm in the same boat.
Jason, the whole thing about you is that you creep around the woods. You should know that these guys are in here.
There's 40 people in the woods, and they set up high school football stadium lighting. Like, how did he miss that? There's more cops in this than at the end of Opera, when like half of Italy showed up. Half of like the Swiss Alps showed up. Then he gets lit up. So now we get Jason with like 1,000 bullet. Like this man
it's like
gets
that scene in Predator when they mow down the half the jungle.
Yes, they're doing that to Jason. Now, so our agent lady who's running through everything here, like, she really committed to the bit, first of all, of
yes.
How much did they plan to happen? Did they plan for the light bulbs to go out? Do they like, we need this to happen so that Jason, that like attracts him? You need to take a shower here and get into a towel because that's going to attract Jason. Like,
think horny thoughts.
Totally. Like, because this is a world.
He's a chastity demon.
Yeah, this is a world where...
Right, but she's by herself.
Yeah, and like, but this is all a trap to lure Jason in. So this is a world where they know Jason. This is a fucking FBI task force that is like sent in to do this specifically. So like,
which I would have loved the backstory between him getting out of New York and then murdering a fuck ton of people.
To ask that. Like, do you care if he just came back just to come back?
Well, there was supposed to apparently there was a comic book that was supposed to tie in like 8 and.
But like these are the movies.
It was never made from what I read. Like,
that sucks.
It was said that happened, but it wasn't made. But that the Adam Marcus was told by Sean S. Cunningham to pretend that Takes Manhattan didn't exist. And
I think all of them,
most
like
part,
the first
they ignore
2
all
or
of
something
them,
like that.
And then they tell him to add like years of lore that we know nothing about.
No idea.
Because this is because we get we get him.
Also, he's still grunting. By the way, this entire time
he's getting shot up.
But it is pretty hilarious when he blows up.
So ridiculous. They hit him with a fucking mortar. He literally like looks up and goes boom.
But he does look like he exploded from the inside out.
He absolutely did. And this one,
It was an inside job.
This was a big big flop for me, FX wise, because like if you look at it close enough, his machete hand is literally a machete shoved into an arm socket. Like he's not even holding it.
Oh no.
And then this entire prop just like explodes.
Hilarious.
So we get he's blown to smithereens. We get a whole lot of Jason goo guts everywhere. And I love the fact that we have Creighton Duke hiding in the fucking woods going, I don't think so.
Who are you talking to, bro? Who are you talking to?
What does that mean?
What are you doing?
One last note about this opening. For me, it felt like it was like a Lifetime original movie. I don't know if you felt that kind of quality, but like I felt like it was like a made-for-TV movie opening.
Now that you say it, yes.
Well, yeah,
I
felt like
put my finger on it before.
Fox Saturday Night movie. Like,
yes.
Yeah,
it didn't feel like a movie. Like the others felt like, okay, we're watching a movie here. This one just felt lower grade. I don't know.
Oh,
Made
dude,
for TV.
100%. Because like we get the shot of Jason's heart like beating and then it's not beating, and then we get the title card, which is what, like glazed over Times New Roman, and then like it gets a blood squish. Like they even like it just goes like underneath it as the fucking blood goes across. Where I was like, I am watching a 1993's horror movie, and like the low end of it. So in between, obviously the title scene and the intro credit scenes and stuff like that, we have Kane Hodder as a security guard as his Jason is brought into the coroner's office, and by Jason I mean basically like goo chunks and just all. I don't know. And also, the soundtrack goes from like normal Friday the 13th
we saw earlier
to like I feel like the entire soundtrack from now on has just like a panic attack as the best. Like it's like said like you're like stop, like you're literally just wheeling a body. Like this isn't. But he's so fresh that the bag is still smoking as the coroner's kind of taking it out.
Yeah.
Somebody stop me.
Somebody stop me smoking. Okay, so I started laughing so hard when the coroner they start doing the autopsy for this eyes only thing. And I felt like, and I think you gentlemen are going to get what I'm saying, is that, like when you bought X-Men figures and it had a piece of the larger X-Men figure, so you had to assemble all of them to get, you know what I mean? Like he's pulling out
have some
like
in the room behind me somewhere.
This is how the body looks in this thing, where he's just slops the head down and then it's just the torso, and then it's literally like the legs from the hip down. It's like he's assembling a live human-sized Jason Voorhees action figure that he's collected from 7 other action figures.
Honestly, I would love that. Give me all just squishy parts of Jason. I'll just like put it together. I'll do that.
So this has been very revealing so far.
Well, okay, listen. I don't want it to be in.
You're the one who said you wanted the
correct,
squishy parts.
anatomically correct. I can't say that word. Anatomically correct.
I think my favorite thing is that the coroner is like, this guy got blown to pieces. I think he was about 240 pounds. Maybe 230.
6'4", 240 pounds.
This doesn't seem official. This is like his own podcast that he's recording right
he's
now.
Like his face is kind of chubby. So
I had made a note about that because I was like, man, that's a nice microphone. You think he has a podcast?
Truly. What was the line that he said? It was like I think he died.
This guy is deader than shit.
Deader than shit. In my professional
strike
opinion,
that for the record.
This guy is deader than shit, and then strike that last comment for the record. Oh my god! All right, so all right, so we're going through this, and then we get to the heart, the cause of a lot of problems, but in this case of this movie, it's twice the size and twice as delicious. Black gooey center, and it starts to beat on its own, and I guess it also hypnotizes people.
Yeah,
kind
with
of into
some
eating
early
it
dubstep
with the Jaws theme. It's like dun 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 dun. And yum yum yum. It's chewed down by the coroner. Jason. Okay, so there's a little tidbit. Jason's heart was actually made of gelatin and filled with fruit cocktail mix, and then with black dye. Still, actor Richard Gant was disgusted by the entire process.
It's because your mind can't really, like, your mind is processing that you're eating something like fucking slimy. It looks like a heart.
And he almost puked while doing the scene. Also, that heart is in From Dusk Till Dawn, and I believe it's Monkey Man's heart.
Yeah.
I think that's, yes.
Oh, shit.
Yes. There are so many stolen and there's so many props from so many different movies in this fucking movie. It's insane.
When I first saw this, that heart thing, I was not expecting at all. I was just sick as shit on my couch.
Ravenous,
like, oh no, I had no idea what this movie was about. That I have how much of a not Jason movie it is. It really took me. Oh, is it a picture of Cody's reaction?
This is literally Cody. Like, I don't even know if you can see it.
I can't see it.
But Cody is literally like...
I love that.
Put it in the Discord chat.
I'll put it in the Discord chat. But Cody literally was fucking like, "What the fuck is happening?"
My notes just say in all caps, "What the fuck, dude?"
Why does he do it? What happens?
Why does he do it? He's like compulsed to eat it. Like,
well, it kind of felt like it turned him on a little bit. I don't know why, but he was like, because we got to zoom in on his eyes, and he's just getting like sucked in by the
Sergio,
by the heart.
No, like I can tell that Richard Gantz's nipples were erect the entire time he was eating that hard. Like you can tell he's like he was
cut that out of the IMDb behind the scenes, but you are right. That's true.
Yeah, he's like, but it's weird. He's tickling his nose on one of the ventricles the whole time while eating the heart. It's very over the top. It's super over the top.
But he committed. He ate that thing.
I just need Celine Dion to play over it. The Heart Must Go On.
Super cut. We just someone needs to make that a music video.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Brian and I like to sing
I have this in all caps.
That in Spanish at karaoke.
And then
wait, you know how to sing it in Spanish?
I forgot.
I know how to read the words in karaoke.
All right, I can't believe I'm saying this, but we get a full-fledged Jason Voorhees spiritual possession as all of Jason Horcruxes, like a Ghostbusters fucking movie, just start like roving around the corner and like shooting into him.
I actually thought this was pretty cool. I liked the eating the heart was super gross, and then it's like seems like it's maybe stuck in his throat, and he's got this like demon roaring thing going, and the cartoony stuff flying around. I liked all that. I thought that. I was like, all right, this I like.
I wasn't opposed to it yet. I'm not opposed to this movie yet. I'm like, okay.
The problem is just none of it has some cool ideas, but none of it works.
I will say
it feels like one of those movies like where this was a script for a different movie, and then it got made into, and they
put it together.
Didn't I say that the other day? I said in one of our live streams, I was like, this movie felt like it was a cool idea that somebody thought of, but then last minute was like, let's make it a Jason movie.
We got the rights to Jason. Let's throw that on to something.
And someone's not telling the truth out there. They're not like, Sean S. Cunningham, I need you to speak up right now.
So Adam Marcus wanted to do like a different Jason movie, and this was what he wanted to do. He did kind of have this soul jumping idea from something else, but the big thing was his original cut was like a bit over 2 hours long, 2 hours, 10 minutes, something like that.
I don't know
and
if
it was slow and boring, but it was full of character development, and because he was young and like bright-eyed, you know what I mean? Like all the characters had to say something and go through something and mean something and blah, 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 blah.
Every character had their own arc.
I want that cut.
So when
Does that cut exist?
Down to what it is,
I don't.
It's why, like, a lot of the time you're like, wait, so how do those two know each other? Or what's happening here?
If Zack Snyder could get his cut of the movie, I want to see the OG cut of Jason Goes to Hell.
I definitely saw clips of, like, missing interactions.
But unfortunately,
Adam Marcus cut.
But unfortunately, much like William Dafoe's penis, it just comes off very confusing.
It was so big, it was confusing.
It was so big, it was just overly confusing.
All right.
All right. So we get unlucky second corner comes in with pizza. And I do kind of like this, like the second corner, the corner's assistant is just like openly like flixing him off, telling him to go fuck himself, and like a big old mango sized crap. The writers of this film, there are some golden one-liners throughout this entire movie. But
really? Let me hear them.
There's a few like borderline Three Stooges level dialogue that happens.
They definitely add humor to
scene?
it, which I don't think we had much intentional humor in other Friday movies.
No,
maybe a little here and there, but
I'd say your favorite one, 5, isn't that intentional humor? You don't think?
I don't know. What do you think?
Oh wait,
I still trying to figure that out.
Which will come up soon. But one line I did love was the planning on smoking a little dope, having a little premarital sex, and getting slaughtered.
I feel like I can see that
just a little
in the trailer.
Humor.
Like I feel like that is in the trailer for this movie. Like without
100%
knowing what the trailer is.
Yeah.
Right. But I like the fact that like Jason Voorhees has feelings and you can tell immediately. I don't know if it's because of coroner Jason, but it's like he was like sharpening tools and then he got mad the second that this guy was like, fuck you, Jason. And then like takes the probe and face smashes him and probes the back of his head. And then that one, the great smush as he pushes it off in the uncut one is just
that was chunky. That was chunky.
Super cool.
But then like the security guards didn't have to die, except they boast. It's like, we really nailed that fucker. And then like Kane is making fun of Jason, which makes coroner Jason. I'm just going whoever their profession is. That's the Jason that I'm going to be going off of. Yeah. And then like the dead. Oh my God, dude. And then just murdering him.
I love that.
I feel like they totally copped out on that, though. I feel like they could have given like Kane Hodder like a cool.
Yeah,
I like the cut. I like how they cut it and did it. I thought that was really fun. But I also
nothing but a pussy anyway, and then it cuts to them dead in the hallway.
1 week ago, the brutal murders of, and then also the other lab assistant that comes in is like one of the first people that is just like not aware of anything around them, and like. This dude is very clearly bloody and gross in front of you. And
he has black
not like
off his face and coming down his shirt.
There's other part with the sheriff and his wife or whatever later where the sheriff should totally notice some dude running towards their car that like doesn't.
And doesn't even remotely at all.
He's just too busy dancing or whatever. About to
this guy's way too concerned about his Hawaiian pizza to be concerned about his boss covered in gore.
But yeah, the cut.
I do like the transit.
Yeah,
the news scene I think is really funny, but it's also 90s. Like, oh my God! But then I think the funniest shit for me is that they filmed the dead security guards, and then for the fucking coroner and then the coroner's assistant, they literally just took fucking screenshots of what we watched a minute ago. Like it's literally a screenshot of the movie. Like, like they didn't do a photo.
There's no way they got that footage.
They literally just did like, okay, and we're going to take that still, and that's the photograph we're going to use for the news thing. We actually get like actual news coverage of Jason Voorhees. They
interview Creighton Duke, right?
Duke the Bounty Hunter interview gets fucking gold.
That's why, like, when they go to him and he starts talking out, my note is, why does this guy know this about Jason, and why would we believe him? We're just
all of that got edited out, baby. This is
because it's presented on the news. I think we're just supposed to accept that he is an authority figure in this universe.
I mean, look at his hat.
It doesn't play well.
No, it really doesn't. Because like obviously all that stuff like explaining who he was has been taken out, so it's just a bounty hunter at this point.
Is this the part where he says like the gross line?
Okay, so he said
the mask, the machete.
Jason Voorhees makes me think of a little girl in a pink dress sticking a hot dog through a donut. Why? What?
What does that even mean?
What the fuck? I stopped the movie for a second to be like, what?
Did they really just write that?
What was that?
Is that
I was like
phrase I'm not familiar with.
No, I know. I don't think so.
There's only been a few times.
So that doesn't mean
stopped the
something
movie
to you guys.
and looked up if this was ad-libbed, and they just kept it. No, this was a written line for Duke to say in this fucking movie.
Jason Voorhees makes me think of a catfish doing a dance with a bullfrog on a Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then he doubles down and he goes, what do you think,
Jason?
Make
it a little grosser somehow, actually.
It's like, what you think is Jason isn't Jason. He wears people like a suit. Jason Voorhees, the true Jason Voorhees, is something you and I have never seen before. And they decided to pay this man $500,000.
They really wanted him to be Donald Pleasance really bad.
Well, they want him to be
oh my God, yes.
It was like Dr. Loomis.
And then, like, I guess the news, like the TV show is going to pay him like $500,000, and then he does that weird Jaws line where he's like, for $500,000, you get the mask, the machete, and the whole damn thing. I do kind of like the fact that, again, and this also kind of fucks up part 8 for me, where you have Jason Voorhees style murdering starting from Ohio, which is where the federal morgue was, back to Camp Crystal Lake. So this guy hoofs it from Ohio to New Jersey, murdering everyone he sees.
He's officially supernatural.
He's officially supernatural now. But in part 8, he doesn't go after any New Yorker. Maybe even Jason Voorhees knows you don't fuck around with New Yorkers unless they're directly helping out the kids from Camp Crystal Lake.
Well, this is clearly okay. So this is a very different Jason that's retconning a lot of different things. It's changing who and what Jason is. So that begs the question: when's Jason been a demon? Always, since he's a little boy, has been infested in him. So
no, I think it got him at the bottom of the lake,
or when he came back.
Yeah, I think it got him at the bottom of the lake somehow and brought him back, and that's how he went from a little boy to like a big man in a couple years.
Well, that's what I think.
Man.
That's what I think the presence of the Necronomicon in the house is supposed to imply, right? Is that
didn't he want him to be
the
a
mom?
Deadite?
Yeah,
he is. The canon in this.
Yeah,
Jason Voorhees is a Deadite.
not like the ones we've seen in the Evil Dead movies. It's like whatever this version is. You know what I mean?
Whatever you're seeing, because this is taken from Army of Darkness.
Now, would you guys like it better if it was like if they really honed in on that fact that he is like sort of on like an Evil Dead, Friday the 13th?
Well, it's interesting because as we've been going through this series, we've talked about like how it's like each time he's testing his new powers and like he's jumping out of trees or jumping onto buildings or running around this way or going, and it's like each time
he dies,
resurrected,
he's
got like a different flavor of powers, and it could all be related to this. I mean, it works as far as I'm concerned.
I just like that every time he dies and comes back, he has a different set of powers. It always changes.
Yes,
that's fun.
Yeah, and
but I do like how, if you think about this, what it does is that it does make, you can make the argument that your boy Roy was possessed by Jason, and that Roy was Jason
totally
taken over in this possession, because essentially is that what he's always done?
The need to pretend to look like Jason while he was
because they obviously have, because we know,
but totally
I don't know if it's the longer that he's in the body or the more fresh or something, because he eventually in the movie controls the body enough to deceive someone and talk with that body and do that kind of stuff. So maybe it was just in the Roy body a little bit too long, that the Roy personality was taken over a little bit. It was just a
and it'll like destroy the body eventually. I don't know how.
I would have been much more rules on board with the different taking over of bodies and moving throughout the movie and doing all that stuff if they did the one thing that apparently Sean Cunningham didn't want to do, is have him wear a hockey mask and like take that from body to body, take some sort of
if that was like the spiritual totem, like it would be the possessed item. Like the possessed item moving from person to person would make sense.
Fucking killing someone, possessing a new body, just taking the mask off the old thing, putting it on, and moving on.
Would you still keep the
I also thought it'd be
going
cool
into people's mouths?
Sure, I'm fine with that. And I think it'd be cool if the person's would almost immediately start deforming. Maybe that's why he always grabs the mask, because he always starts like whatever body he immediately goes into starts to look like shit. So he's gonna grab the mask.
So he has to grab his mask back.
I think
I like that
would have allowed the ridiculousness, because it would just had Jason. Okay, it would just had the idea, the figure of Jason in it a little bit more.
What's funny, Brian, is that there's a whole series of Friday the 13th like novels that came out, and a lot of them were like teen novels, and there's a huge series of them where the mask is the possessor, so whoever wears the mask becomes Jason. And I think that would make so much sense. That would make absolute sense. And speaking of hockey masks, we're back at Crystal Lake, and there are 2-for-1 Jason's Dead burgers where they're actually making the patties look like hockey masks.
But
and I think
the math isn't mathing on this, because she's like taking little pieces out and making another burger out of the pieces that you're taking from the other burger. So you're still selling the same amount of burger for the same amount of price.
She's losing money hand over fist. It's hilarious. She's like, but if you take the holes out, it's like you're doing one burger, but it's 2 burgers. When you're taking like a tenth of a burger away because you're poking 2 eye holes and then like a breathing thing. She's terrible with that. Joey B is terrible with math.
I don't know. I think it'll work out.
Yeah.
I would have a burger.
But we're introduced to Joey B, Shelby, and Ward, the that lovable son who just tries to do his best throughout this whole movie and winds up getting just really fucked up.
What's his relationship to Steven? Why does he? Well, we'll get there.
He could have been the real final boy. He deserved it.
Wait, who was this?
100%.
Ward,
the
son.
Yeah, the son, the other cook, not Shelby, the shorter guy. But the other one. Oh, also, if you're confused by who's being introduced, everyone else is too, because like this is like a part 5 level rapid fire getting introduced to so many different characters. So we've got Joey B, Shelby, and Ward who are in the back end of the kitchen. We have Diana, who is talking to her fiance, who we don't know is her fiance, who's the sheriff, who now they're getting into a quaff.
Well, they cut out that it was the fiance.
We got Creighton Duke saying blowjob jokes for no fucking reason and just getting thrown into jail. We get introduced to, Steven is also in this, who,
oh my God.
Steven
you really needed to I don't even know if you did pay attention, it would make all sense. Then later on, we get introduced to Jessica, who has a baby, who then is dating the anchor who's also involved somehow.
We need to just treat this like a documentary and have little name cards for everybody when they appear on the screen.
I need that assistance. Yes. I need that VH1 behind the music, you pop up little bubbles that say this is Steven, who is probably going to be your final boy. Yeah, pop-up video.
And then I love the fact when so they're gliding around all these things, and then Diana sits next to Steven and they start talking about Jessica and then the kid and then some other stuff. But then she goes, I have really something important to tell you. But then you have to drive after work to do it. It's hilarious to me that nothing is and even when a character's trying to explain something, the plot's nay. No. That'll be in 10 or 15 minutes. Let's just keep them all in a level of suspense.
I also hate is that this secret is, I don't know if it happened for you guys, but for us, we were you're related to Jason. You're that's 100%. The thing. Just tell him. And yet she's take care. This happens later on, but it can't. I just have to say it now.
But if you've got Duke in a ginormous in a 50,000 gallon cowboy hat saying you're the only one that can defeat Jason, I'm going to say an 80% chance I'm related to him. You know what I mean? Where it's
it's kind of a process of elimination is okay, you're not the daughter of Jason, you're not you have to be related somehow. And I love that the director then describes this in the documentary for the movies is the thing is that they had what's her name? Mom.
Pamela?
Diana. Pamela. Sorry, there's a lot of moms in this one.
Diana out of wedlock, but that means once Jason was born, Jason is actually her true son, which is she forgot about
adoption.
Yeah, I was like,
I felt
nonsense.
That there was a Lord. There was a Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I felt like there was a Lord of the Rings level of fucking trilogy that was in between these movies that I was supposed to catch up on. That not that it was edited out. All of this stuff that you're supposed to know. Yeah. You don't know any of it.
This is one of those nightmares of when you show up to a test. And they're oh, this is your final test, but you actually don't fucking know what the fuck.
You've never been to the class before.
I was no, I never went to this class before.
Yeah,
there's a movie missing.
All the
in
stuff
between.
you're expected to know.
Yeah, you're what the fuck? When did this all happen?
It's
oh my God.
Should I feel bad that I don't know it?
Right. All right. So Steven's now in the car jamming the fuck out to some rock and roll and really feeling himself why not? Jason's dead. Let's go pick up some hitchhikers. And like we said before, they're going to go smoke dope, have premarital sex, and hopefully not get killed.
Yay.
Steven gets tempted by the redhead, but in a shocking twist in a Friday the 13th film, he doesn't go with the group and he drives away. Wow. I don't think we've seen a logical conclusion like that since, I don't know, part 2, when half the group leaves and then don't come back. I think this is.
Oh, yeah.
This is the first time in a while that we're oh, okay.
Obviously, by these terms, he is pure and is able to live.
Yes, exactly. I think he still loves Jessica, who we don't even know what their relationship is at this point. I'm not even sure if they have offspring.
The relationship with any of the characters is not clear.
Yes.
I'm still a little caught up in the fact that, like, obviously the couple, they're gonna fuck. It's gonna happen. This other girl just coming along,
redhead girl.
She likes to watch.
I mean, clearly, right? There's something going on here because she's just like, no, you guys can have the tent. It's okay. I'll be like 5 feet over here this way. Like,
I just want to lay out here. Like,
I'm gonna hang out here in
no
what was the Antichrist one? Forest Fap. So she's going to go out and forest fap while they're in the tent having sex.
Well, she didn't even seem comfortable. She did not seem
she
whatsoever comfortable.
It's called cowboy camping is what you often refer to, is when you sleep without a tent. And
sleep without a tent.
Typically wouldn't, I don't know. It might not be too bad in the Jersey woods.
Bag?
Also, this whole setting where this takes place, for some reason, it made me feel like we were at like your local park. I don't know why.
Yes, it's supposed to be Camp Crystal Lake, but it didn't feel like Camp Crystal Lake at all for whatever reason. I love. Okay, this entire sequence with these campers is so fucking ridiculous. So like they all go skinny dipping, and then they're all half naked to naked, and then we get some man hams. There's a whole lot of butt in this. We get some man hams in this.
Oh yeah.
But what's so funny goes, oh my gosh, we're so cold. Let's get naked. I think that's the funniest to me, where like they don't even have wet clothes on. They're just sort of like, they're in their underwear. We gotta take these off. And then just like,
he mentioned something about his pod being all shrunken.
Shrank my pod. We need to take that clip and use it for something.
Right? I'm just she's like, I love your pod, or whatever she says in return.
Yes. I will say, I did kind of love this scene. It brought me back memories to like the other movies.
Yeah,
so I was like, all right.
This felt the most like a Friday the 13th movie, right?
I know, right?
This was what they were like, look, you need to add something to make it more like a
yeah.
Oh
more
my
kills,
god.
more nudity.
Yeah, and then also in classic format, the redhead tries taking a nap or going to sleep. She can't because I think, what is that, a part 4? No, part 5 trope. She has to go to the bath. Everyone has to use the bathroom. So I'm assuming because of part 5, everyone needs to take a shit. So she can't sleep, so she probably has to drop a dookie. Nice. Oh man, she finishes, goes back to the campfire, and then gets slashed by her favorite quarter. What was the scatting? Where's what, Sam, you know scat.
Rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tooey. Rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tooey.
Yeah, there you go.
Rat-a-tat-tooey. Rat-a-tat-tooey.
All I was thinking, because the other girl has to use the restroom as well. Everybody has to pee or poop in this one. No one took a road break before having sex.
They pee so fast.
They did pee very fast. They're like squatting. And it's like, what's out there?
Well, I mean, okay, hold on. You would probably pee fast too if you got a line like, "You think you're ready for Tony the Wonder Llama?" Literally what he says to this girl before having sex. And I was just like, excuse me? Like, I got confused in the fact that I thought I heard it wrong and rewound it 3 times. And it was like, nope. He's saying, getting ready for the Wonder Llama.
Adam Marcus was like, that when he had to add this, he was like, I will not say sex equals death. I won't do it. But I will say unprotected sex equals death. So that's why I had them get rid of the condom.
Him stepping on the condom. If a coroner Jason stepping on the condom, walking through. Although I will give credit where credit due.
It's hilarious.
The dead girl like bound to the tree was pretty dope. Like, I actually really like the body. I think
this whole thing's dope. I think the sex scene was a little bit too long, but I think it all works very well.
That's what I was saying. I was like, oh, we're literally going to have to watch them have sex right now.
Like full writing. To completion.
To completion.
Yeah. Let's
I guess the sign through her body did get me. I'm not going to lie.
That was super fucking
the impalement, cool. And then the upward, and her whole body splits. Huge notes. I went, holy fucking shit, we got the gore back in Friday the 13th franchise.
It was good.
Except for some dude in a lab coat.
Yes. Yes, Simon Jason.
It's so good until you remember that. Until you remember that part.
Oh, God.
I don't know if you guys had this tidbit down, but apparently the two actors involved in
I was
this
just gonna bring that up. Yeah,
were in a relationship together, but then they just broke up. Oof. So during this whole scene, they have to pretty much be super intimate and naked with each other.
And they literally just broke up with each other.
That's so awkward.
Awkward sex scene. And they filmed it the longest sex scene. We're like, okay,
my God.
I know you guys are really uncomfortable right now, but we need at least about 15 more minutes of you just riding on top of him.
And apparently they had to make a mold of her, literally pretending
straddling
to be on the dick. But a whole mold of her. I was like, geez,
right.
Wow, I don't know how she did it.
Do you think she gets to keep that after production? Because I mean,
I would.
I wouldn't fathom how K and BFX would use that for another movie. I could be very wrong on that. I'm probably very
totally
wrong.
Keep it. Give me. Not
the
her body, my own body.
Could I keep that?
If they were able, to
sex,
repurpose the killer clowns from outer space into
fantasizing about her dead
stupid trolls, anything's possible.
I promise it's not for sex.
I promise it's not for sex. Okay, so Diana leaves the diner, and I got serious Leslie Vernon vibes as she's walking outside to feed that goddamn puppy. Is so funny to me. I don't know. The entire time I was sitting there going this is literally Behind the Mask. I absolutely love this. And it does look like Imposter Jason is stalking her. So we get, this cop shows up and says, hey, and then this is so convoluted. So we have the cop says, hey, and then goes to the car and then meets up with a married woman. And the only reason why we know she's married, she's like, I just got my hair done and he's going to be out for an hour and a half. So we got to do this whoopee fast.
Yeah. What?
And then she gets her head crushed with a fucking door, which was pretty funny.
Also, what is up with this cop? I was like, you're literally a police officer. You're going to have a guy running full speed at your mistress, I guess. And he's just sitting there well, time to get laid.
Oh, my God.
Or I guess this guy's the mistress in the situation. We don't know his marital status.
Fair. Fair.
Or is he the
so
mister?
Her head, or I like the fact that she had a shawl on so they could just pack a hoodie into that and get that crushed by the car very fast.
I really wanted to hear a toy squeak when the car door just hit her. It's like squeak.
Like a dog toy.
Yeah.
And then this cop wakes up Dexter style in he's in stirrups, and this whole shaving sequence is so weird. I didn't know Jason could shave.
Are we at that?
To me, it makes no sense. Yeah, it happens directly after this.
It happened directly after it. So he kills the woman, and then he wakes up at the Voorhees house, which they didn't even.
Did we already have the finger breaking scene?
No, that's at the
I'm so
the finger breaking scene is. At
we haven't arrested Steven yet.
Yeah, and Diane hasn't even died yet.
Yeah.
Okay, I just got totally lost in my
because
notes.
The sheriff then gets taken over. The sheriff then goes to Diana. Yeah.
So apparently,
okay,
a coroner Jason needs a fresh face to shave before he shoves his mammoth-sized.
This was
Jason just doesn't
weird.
like facial hair.
It's itchy. I got a beard, baby.
He's like, look, I'd rather not shave myself once I'm in there. I'd much prefer to tie you down and shave you before I get in.
This was the most non-Jason thing ever.
Totally.
I was just
Jason doesn't do this.
He doesn't take people.
This man is 1920s giving him a hot shave.
The only thing that I can honestly think that this scene would do for the movie is be another check in the column of the director wanting to make it add a little homoeroticism into it to try to
That's exactly what he was doing.
That's the only thing I can think of.
No, you literally nailed it.
Every franchise needs a gay entry, apparently.
Well, he's in an interview. He literally said it. He goes, he wants to be as exclusive to everyone as humanly possible. So this scene in particular, and then the campers where you see a whole lot of man ass is the man hams on that one was specifically for his gay audience. He's like, listen, you guys.
Not complaining.
Listen, did I say, okay, some bubble butt?
That's
okay,
what I'm
it kind of works.
That
okay, the shaving, I don't get.
Yeah, that's that. Like,
I don't think he did a lot of research, and he goes, "Well, this might seem awesome." I don't know.
Honestly, in the interview I saw, he was like, "I did it because I knew people would still be talking about it today." It's like, so no reason really.
Not a good way.
No reason. That's not a good reason, guy. There's
Adam Marcus definitely sounds like that. Like, he just graduated film school, so he really wants to try every single thing he can.
But he was trying to make it homoerotic and having it like, because then it's also like they're kissing when he transfers the evil worm into him. So that was also part of what he was doing. He was like, "I'm very happy to see I've seen this come up on like gay horror list now."
Okay, so obviously,
my thing is, sorry, I was gonna say, are you happy to be brought on for another sort of worm transference movie?
Oh yeah,
a la Wreck.
Because what is that about?
Like, we had you on for Wreck for worm demon transference, and now we bring you on for this Friday the 13th. Or
I don't know.
I'm gonna say this is a Wreck prequel.
Ooh.
It could be. This is how it started years before.
Oh shit!
What if the Wreck virus is Jason?
Well, because
and then
we have the Necronomicon. It's literally
right?
a demon, a transferable demon virus.
Transferable demon virus.
God, you're right. My mind is blown right now.
This movie's fucking awesome.
It's a 10, like this is Whoa. Wow, this totally changed the whole script for me. Holy shit.
The game right now. All right.
See, also, I don't know if he tried shaving because he's going on a date with Diana, because like Diana gets home and her daughter is on the phone. Like Jessica's on the phone, and like now there's a baby, but then like clean shaven Jason cop shows up. And Steven's on the way, I guess. I don't know what the fuck is going on at this point.
I was like, he needs to be like a very like, not a rough surface, so that they can make a good suction contact for the worm to technically go through. If there's hair in the way,
it's like he's prepping him for surgery.
Yeah, there's like things get in the way.
Okay, all right. I can kind of get on board with that.
There's not a good connection.
So what is it? Cop Jason goes for the attack, but gets shot in the head, which of course doesn't stop him as he starts to puke like the leechy demon thing onto Diana. Knocks. All right. So then like right before that happens, Steven shows up and then like knocks him off. And then like Jason flings a sharpened fucking prong through Diana and almost kills Steven before like seeing himself in the mirror and shit. Okay. So maybe Roy was dressed up as Jason because like Jason was genuinely bugged out when he saw himself in the mirror. So I think like maybe he like to be in his full Jason killer mode, he has to be cosplaying if he's in a different body.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. But I guess he's got enough to like pin a murder on someone because like he gets impaled and like gets another thrown out the window. We have I think like 2 or 3 thrown out the windows in this Friday installment.
There's a couple.
It really is a trope that I had. Who would have known had I not?
Yeah, sometimes you gotta throw shit out the window, you know?
It's a classic Friday the 13th-ism.
And we get, oh God. And then Steven is literally laying there going like, I didn't do it. And the second he's out, and then he's just, now he's in the fucking big house.
I understand this looks bad.
I don't know if there's a controversial opinion, but I could give it up to Steven because I feel like I don't see many final boys with glasses, you know, just like.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the Tommy Jarvis thing makes so much more sense to me, having him look like that. Yeah. And then like that's the closest they could get. It's like the what is it? You know, like Garfield. Like it's Garfield but not Garfield type thing where it's like this is Tommy Jarvis without kind of being Tommy Jarvis.
Yeah. It's Timmy Jarvis.
Yeah. All right. So Jessica shows up to Mom's house, like, and they haven't even cleaned up the crime scene at this point, which is super weird. We do get an adorable baby. So this is, yeah. I think honestly the most adorable baby in a Friday the 13th. I mean, Jason Goes to Hell movie. It's not a Friday the 13th movie.
Right.
This is probably the most adorable baby in a Jason Goes to Hell movie.
Yes, I would agree with that. Absolutely, 100%.
I love the interview with the actress who played the baby, because she was like, "Hi, I starred in Jason Goes to Hell. I have no memory whatsoever of that movie." And I was like, "Whoa.
That's awesome." Also, why would you're 5 months old. Of course, you're not gonna have any memories of this.
It was so good. I was like, "Oh, I'm glad they got you here."
The relationship between all these characters is still not clear at all. It's not until...
And it never will.
Well, we were actively talking about it. It was like, wait, so Steven was with Jessica, and then now Jessica's with somebody else, but they have a baby, but the baby isn't being told about to Steven. So Steven hasn't met the baby.
Dude, it's very...
And when did this happen?
It's very Days of Our
Something
Lives.
like that.
Like, Steven and Jessica hooked up. Jessica got pregnant. I guess
they just hooked up? They weren't together?
I guess, or maybe they were together, but like she left town.
Maybe a one-night stand.
How the fuck did Jessica meet the host of this national or whatever TV show?
No, dude, he actively went after her.
Of this kid.
Did he?
I think so.
That would make the most sense.
I guess that makes sense,
because he wanted the...
Especially after, like,
but wait, how does he know?
Corpse and moving it to...
How does he know that
that's
he's
a really
the
good
daughter
fucking
of...
point.
Because it's a...
Did he maybe when he was talking to Creighton Duke.
So he paid
Creighton
him
Duke knows everything.
Oh,
Right, exactly.
All right.
Actually, he clears a lot of these questions up in this next scene talking to Steven in jail, like, because all he does is do exposition. So he's like, "Oh my god, so your baby mama did this, and you got caught doing that," and like, it's like, "Oh, so that's what's going on." Thank you.
The price of knowledge. The price of knowledge. Let's get to the cell scene.
So talk about something that feels like it was in a different movie.
Yes.
Originally, that they were like, I love the idea. I'm going to put it in this one.
Breaking a man's fingers for information is like, what? Why?
This makes his character feel almost supernatural as well. Like it feels like there's so.
I didn't.
Well, not really. Not really. Like if you built a real character around this, like if he was some sort of like bounty hunter that's going out to catch supernatural serial killers, he has some sort of thing, and
but this is like,
I don't know, it seems like a taking a toll, like, paying for knowledge type of thing. That
Duke
whatever,
feels like a crossroads.
It makes no sense.
Demon.
Here.
No, he literally, I felt like it, like, I remember as a kid watching this movie and having Duke's character, and specifically like him breaking the fingers and stuff, I legitimately thought he was like a crossroads demon, or like the twist was going to be he is a bounty hunter, but from hell, and he's also a demon trying to get Jason into hell or something like that, because he played it like very nefarious. Like he goes
when he first takes.
Right? I would have thought that would have been great.
That would have been cool.
Right?
I'm just wondering how this guy gets his hands crushed and is fully capable of using them throughout the rest of the movie.
Right after this scene, it is as if nothing happens.
I'm fine.
Supernatural.
So yeah, he breaks. Oh my god!
Well, and first, before he does anything, he like caresses his hand. He like takes it very sweetly and kind of runs his fingers.
It's a good hand you
it.
got here. Are you willing to pay the price? Yeah, so he breaks his finger. It says Jason can only be killed by destroying his heart, and the only person who can destroy that heart was Diana and her daughter, Jessica. And then the other weird one, how much are you going to pay? And I like he goes, this one's on the house.
Last one's on the house, yeah.
Thanks.
Diana and Jessica are related to Jason Voorhees, and the only two people who can resurrect and kill him are Jessica and now this little baby.
Which, at some point in this movie, it reaches a point where I'm like, are they going to literally have this baby just like hold a dagger to like try
to
my
god,
I'm
right there with you. Like I imagine it, yes.
Throws the baby and the baby's holding the dagger in both hands.
Like, that's it. Oh no.
Okay, I got it. They take the dagger, duct tape it onto the baby's hands. I don't suggest do this in real life.
Don't do it.
And then you take the baby and duct tape the baby to like a long pole. Then you have
drag the pole into the. Ooh,
they have this long baby,
baby dagger,
Kandarian dagger. Fucking, is that what it is?
God.
Like, I mean,
oh my god,
yeah, essentially. Yes.
Wait, hold on. When do we get introduced to that dagger?
That happens like at the end. We finally see it. I believe.
Almost the end. Yeah.
Does that happen out of nowhere? Because when she went to reach for like held the dagger and the lightsabers came to life, I was like, what? Where did that come from?
Oh, because he's got a normal ass knife and then throws it at her, and by the power of Voorhees, she grabs it and it turns it like it's like He-Man, but for fucking like killing Deadites. She's like, I have the power, and then it just turns into like not necessarily the Kandarian dagger because it's not made fully of bone. But I mean, the back end is, but the front end is more a little pointy.
Yeah.
Oh, also, Steven does the most awkward prison break I've ever seen in a movie in my life. Like, this prison break from Steven was fucking just like, I need you to go. Okay, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I need to go.
Also, kind of justice for Randy, his friend who's the cop, because he was actually a good friend. He was like, I'm going to try to get you out of here.
Brother.
Oh, brother.
Is it his brother or friend? I thought it was a brother.
I just took it as a friend.
Like a high school friend or something like that.
We're in small town Crystal Lake. Everyone knows everyone.
Totally. The interaction later on with Randy and Steven is fucking outstanding. Oh, okay. Yeah. We go back to the diner and they're trying to hide the... Okay, so... God damn it. I don't know. As a parent, I thought it was hilarious, and also like I got like anxiety when they put this fucking baby infant into a cardboard box on the edge of a shelf, and we're like, that'll be fine.
Babies famously never move. It's a known.
Yeah, right, guys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, honestly, like not an inch.
Well, when they first bring her in, the lady who runs the restaurant starts making a big deal about like
yeah.
She's like, "What are you doing? You can't bring that thing in here. Like, what are you, crazy?
Throw it in the street." I think it's like
they
one
give
of the
her a
lines
character arc because later on
she loves that.
She
baby.
doesn't let anyone go near the baby.
Nobody goes near that goddamn baby.
That's writing masterpiece right there.
Well, Steven uses the back door, and that's when Ward is nice enough to be like, dude, just fucking like leave the baby here, take the keys, do what you need to.
Okay.
That's when
we
get
to
the
point
old...
I was like, how do these two know each other, and why did he let him take his car? Like,
I don't know.
See those two
I figured that they went to school together. Honestly, at this point, I'm coming up with a backstory on my own.
I have TIG welded my suspenders of disbelief for this film. Like, most of this doesn't make sense. All of the story arcs, none of the characters make most of this is like.
I'm not buying into it anyway. That's what the suspenders are for.
Steven gets to the house and investigates the house. And he stumbles upon the actual fucking Necronomicon. Like we were talking about before, in the Voorhees house is the prop Necronomicon book from Army of Darkness. Like, he borrowed the prop for this fucking movie, which is insane to me because was it New Line didn't own the rights to Evil Dead. They didn't do anything with Evil Dead. And literally, like, this was kind of like haphazardly put in without anybody's real consent.
Being shot at the time.
Yeah.
And Steve Miner, who directed the third one, I think, and was friends with Sean Cunningham. He worked on the first two.
Yeah.
Was working on Army of Darkness, and Adam Marcus was a huge fan, and he has to borrow it, and Sam Raimi just let him take it. It came in a plastic Ziploc bag set. Then Sam Raimi had to apologize to his set master later for letting him take it because his set master got super mad. And by contrast, when the Freddy glove came for the final shot from New Line, it literally came with a person who had it in a suitcase, who had it with them at all times, except for when it came out.
You know what?
Shot,
I respect
and then
that.
it went right back in.
Yeah, I respect that.
That's Kane Hodder's hand wearing the glove at the end there.
Yep.
He's also the first person to play both roles in a film.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Go Kane Hodder, except for in Freddy vs. Jason and Wood Kane. No, I'm kidding.
Right?
It's the only one to do it, wouldn't he be?
To play Freddy and Jason?
Yeah, not the first. Yeah. The first and only.
Yeah, the first and only. Yeah. But having the Necronomicon here in the Voorhees house is the big allusion to, yes, Jason Voorhees is a Deadite. And technically, if this is in canon, it is canon that Jason Voorhees is a Deadite.
Is it though? I mean, it only there's nothing directly saying it though. Is there somebody saying this book was used to resurrect Jason?
No.
I mean, it's just
because they don't own the rights to any of it. So
another one of the Easter eggs that's in this movie because we get an Arctic expedition crate from your show.
Creep Show is in the basement. Yeah.
Right. I'm pretty sure
the director did want it to be that he was a Deadite. He was like, I am saying canonically, I made a Friday the 13th movie. Mm-hmm. He is a Deadite. That is what happened.
Yeah, we saw an interview with him.
You could not want to count my movie all you want, but it's real.
Well, then he needed to fight to get that in there better, because then the movie you presented, it's argumentative that you might not be a Deadite. I'm all for it. I don't care. I think
and the thing you said about the Kandarian dagger is that they didn't get the actual prop from, but he had to make it basically unspoken with his prop masters or makers or whatever it was. He was like, without saying that's what I want, that's what he wanted.
Staffney, he called it on set.
Yes.
Yeah.
Staffney.
Evil Dead Rise joke for
all right, Stevie goes to the closet and then humorously he gets stuck halfway through. He gets stuck halfway through the floorboard. Honestly, dude. Okay, so when I re-listen to, I'm gonna say it now. When I re-listen to some of the episodes, some of your one-liners, Brian, I audibly laugh out loud when I'm listening to it, but I miss it when we're recording. It's
didn't miss that one.
I didn't miss that.
Thank you. Oh, God. I feel better now.
That's what I'm like listening or here.
All right. So Steven's halfway through the floorboards. We hear Jessica's new beau, the TV guy, has basically stolen her. Oh my God. What is the line? He goes like, I stole Diane's body from the morgue, and then I fucked her daughter.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
What the fuck? Oh my God!
So I think the first time I did my watch for this, I missed that little scene where we first get the setup that they were together or whatever it is. So when I saw this, I was like,
and you miss it.
What?
What the fuck?
I mean,
my God.
It's on par
really
with
quickly.
everything coming out of nowhere. So I'm like, okay, sure, that's happening.
Sure. Right.
Oh my God. And then just like clockwork, we get freshly shaven cop. God, Jason comes out and decides to worm mouth screw the TV guy. We get to one of my favorite parts of the movie, and that is the body horror of the fucking cop melting.
Yeah, this seems
better
great.
than Goo Man, the Goo Monster
Awesome.
from it's
So
just
good.
Goo Guy. I thought was great, but then I saw this
Goo
It's like
Man.
Biocop
Goo
and
Man.
Goo Man.
Psycho Gorman.
I definitely felt like I was in a different movie.
Yeah,
but
this came out of nowhere, but it's very
it was really
gooey.
cool.
Yeah, I think it's like the double-edged sword when you tell the special effects guys, hey, anything goes, specifically because we're having an unrated version of this is going to get released, is that I felt like they went ham on some of these special effects, but you can tell which ones they knew weren't going to actually be in the theatrical release because they're so alien from the rest of the movie, where it's like, okay, I've got this great gag. How do we fit this into the movie? Because no other body that Jason possesses melts at all.
Well, we don't really see it, right?
Or no, I think one does, but we don't really see it afterwards. I think it's
not like this one.
Yeah, not
none
like
of
this
them
one.
did
I mean,
like
dude, this
that's
guy
for sure.
is sticking to the walls. His face
When
is
he's
melting
pulling
off.
himself
his
up and his
fucking
jaw's
jaw on the
that
ground.
was so good. That's awesome.
Love it.
That was
It
awesome.
was so cool.
It was
The face cut
very
is big and
gross.
just talking.
Oh man, when I rewatched this, I stood up and started clapping. I think it was just the jaw and then just the sinew pull off of that was just so good.
I got to give it up to Cody, though, because Cody made a horror reference on his own. And he said, "What in the Hellraiser?" And I was like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
learning slowly but surely.
It's very Hellraiser. It is very fucking Hellraiser.
I'm only assuming that this is supposed to, again, I think this is one of the things that the movie suffers from having a bunch of the extra bits cut off. But I'm assuming that this is supposed to like tell the audience that the longer Jason stays in a body, it just like it
falls
can't
apart.
handle him.
Yeah.
Being in there
Can't
for that
handle
long.
him.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Us simpletons can't have Jason
It's
in
very
us.
Nothing,
supernatural, like,
depending
it
on
needs the
strength of
proper
body,
vessel.
to,
And then once
like
he
it's
leaves
scary.
you, it's like there's nothing
You're
in
gonna
you.
fall
You just fall
apart, totally.
apart.
just turns straight up to goo.
It's really
at this
just this like metaphor for relationships and breakups.
Yeah.
Mm.
It just,
Right.
it's a lot of
Oh,
goo
yeah.
in the end.
It's like
Well, you know
sometimes
what's
you
funny
feel
is
like
I-
when someone
God, what
leaves
was
you, you're just empty
just
and nothing.
become
and you
a
want-
puddle.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
is a metaphor for something. I forget what he said it was, but it
course.
is a thing where like
Of course.
it eats you up and you have to move on to the next
fucking
one until you
course.
do this because you know
Fucking
it's really important
23-year-old.
and he cared. Yeah, exactly. So aside from no Jason, obviously that's a big thing to make it not feel like a Friday the 13th, but nothing else about it feels like a Friday the 13th movie either, except for the very beginning. Like nothing about this. So I said that this is like when Metallica put out Load. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Where before it was just like, long-haired thrash metal, and then they were like, all right, we're gonna cut our hair and make a grunge album type of deal.
Mhm.
Not totally, but it's like it just didn't feel like
Yeah. This is
them anymore.
This is
And
Kiss.
this is the same thing. It's like, welcome to the 90s. This is what I am now.
Yeah,
And it's like,
this
oh,
is
great.
this is Kiss. This is Kiss without makeup, and you're like, technically this is the
Wait a
same
minute.
band, but
Wait
like,
a minute.
what the fuck?
This is when I went and fucking saw A Flock of Seagulls, and this is like, we're gonna play our old ship cool and rock. And you're like, this is
Yes.
nothing.
Yes.
No. Oh my god.
We also forget that we have the introduction of the Voorhees house.
Yes,
which never
the
existed
misspelled
before.
Voorhees house,
The
which I
mis-
think
the
is
Vor-
hilarious.
Yes.
Which the director was like, blame it on the set. He was like, fine, I'll take the blame. But he's like, props department made it. I didn't double check to make sure they spelled it right. He's like, I guess
This is the
technically
most
my fault.
half-ass
But
production ever. Oh my
Yes.
god.
That's
Yes.
not necessarily on the director, but that's on someone right below him. Should have noticed
That's
that.
that's for
somebody
someone
should've caught
looking
it.
through the dailies when they should have.
Yeah.
Instead of letting
before
it
then.
pile up.
Oh yeah.
All right, yeah. So Diana's body slides into Steven and into the basement, conveniently right next to Fluffy's crate from Creepshow. We get a grief shower scene. Just kidding. The news anchor Jason shows up, cuts the power, and then Jessica investigates the entire house. Grabs a hammer, goes to the garage. I will give credit where credit's due. I love the red lights when she turns the car on.
Oh,
And
yes.
he's right behind her. I was like,
That
I
is
was like,
cool.
even I know it's a jabroni in a fucking business suit, but it still is so Jason. Like, I was just like, God, that's so good.
Fucking jabroni in a business suit. That is this fucker. Oh my god, we get so much jabroni in a business suit at the end. Like, I am. He's the worst one, right?
Look
He's
that
like,
up in the dictionary.
Oh, I hate him. Like, I could deal with Coroner Jason. I could
Right.
deal with freshly shaven cop Jason. News
just
anchor Jason
progressively,
is a
yeah.
piece of shit. Like, what a fuck. Like, I don't know. It's like it's more, this sounds so stupid. It's a fucking, the ghastly grinner from Are You Afraid of the Dark? Like,
I know
like, he's almost,
exactly what you're talking about.
you know what I mean? Like, he's
You
almost
just reached a
comedically.
point in my brain right now.
He's like, he
Yes.
almost comedically plays this like,
Well, that's the most un-Jason out of them all because he's just very like animated during the movie as opposed to like everyone else. I honestly kind of prefer Coroner Jason. I would have
Yes.
loved that to carry out a little bit more.
I think this is like the guys that listened to Kane and people that didn't listen to Kane. Like, I feel that Richard Gant as the coroner is bulkier. He has
Has
the
more of a
Kane
presence, yeah.
Yes.
swagger
A presence.
throughout the entire thing. Yes.
yes, take
And then
him.
it just descends.
Well, it doesn't allow for the, I assume the director really wanted to do this multiple possession thing, but I would have been fine with just the possession of the coroner and then start
Yeah.
like, I don't know, melting him throughout the movie.
He could have been sloughing off a little bit as you go.
Grosser, wanting to wear a fucking hockey mask because he's so
I would have
gross.
even liked the fact of either wearing the hockey mask or having the battle damage throughout the movie happening to the coroner where he's just a ragged corpse, or even cooler, he's by the power of the ooze, he's turning into Jason the longer he's being possessed. I would have loved to have seen a hockey mask start emerging from under his skin in certain parts.
Just peeling his skin. And just
I know it's not canon, but it's fucking wackadoo land anyway.
I thought that was going to happen, and I didn't want that to happen for whatever reason. But I forgot about this movie and almost thought that was going to happen. I would have taken it because
I disagree. I think it would have been strange. Just his face starts coming off and you see a hockey mask, but you could have done it in different things where he because he's the coroner was carrying a scalpel around everywhere. If he found the machete and picks it up and you see it start to complete him a little bit,
which apparently diners have.
Oh yeah, of course.
Which they just have machetes.
Yeah, just for when you need to open fresh coconuts.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's honestly at every Waffle House, there's a machete that's underneath the diner table. So when you get there, it's your complimentary machete. Most people don't know it because they don't order the coconuts or the pineapples there, but it's underneath for your convenience.
Nice. I mean, when we get the diner scene, granted they're crappy hawks, but there are hawks hanging in the diner that could have been grabbed and put on at any point. I just feel I
do agree with you.
Kind of.
Do you want TV anchor Jason wearing a fucking hawk? I don't even want. I just this Jason, the one that does the 8-minute slow-mo diner shootout scene was oh man, I would have preferred Sackhead Jason over just put a tarp over him and just make him a ghost.
Yeah, put different stuff. I just wanted stuff over their heads. Well, that's what when we were talking about this feeling like a different movie, just tacked on with some Jason bookends of some dude in a hawk. I would have been more down for this weird possession B movie from the 90s being its own thing.
Yes. This
with
is so
all
almost
of this middle ground without having to fill it with Jason Voorhees lore. That could have been a fun, gross movie, but I don't know.
Nope, it had to have Jason, but not enough Jason. That's the funniest part, where it's we have to have him by name. I felt like they were contractually obligated to have Jason Voorhees as Jason Voorhees for 15 minutes of the movie, and they go, "Oh, thank God that's over. All right, let's get back to this weird, worm phallus that gets lodged in everybody's throat every 5 minutes."
Well, around the time where we're at, where Jessica kind of gets saved by Steven, right, in this moment. Around this time, I think we checked the timing of the movie at some point, or we paused it, and it's an hour, and I'm like,
hold up. Only been an hour?
But there's only 30 minutes left.
Yeah.
Or less than that. And I'm just I feel like I still don't have enough information yet to have this finished yet.
And also, how are you going to resolve this in only 30 minutes?
In 30 minutes? What? I didn't get. I was surprised.
That's by the power of slow-mo and by murdering Duke. An entire and Crane. Yeah, exactly. Crane Duke with some exposition, slaughtering an entire police force.
Honestly, though, because I think that we're past it, but I do want to just say something about the scene where the guy, I'm not remembering anybody's names.
David Crane Duke?
No.
Steven,
where Steven goes and he captures Jessica, carries her off, puts her in the car, and he's going through this whole explanation where at no point does he say Jason Voorhees is killing people and you are the only person. He could have.
Right. No, this is the exact moment it happens.
Yeah, this is where we are.
He doesn't need to get into the details of you are our only hope, but he could at least drop the Jason Voorhees name because we know that she knows that she's a Voorhees.
Yes.
Because her mom said so.
I think so. Maybe. But again, I don't even know if she knows that she's a Voorhees at this point. Is that I know that the mom knew?
I don't think she knows.
You know what?
She doesn't know.
You know what is happening? So I think I'm conflating the part in the very beginning where Diana says, there's something that you need to know that Jessica knows and she hasn't told you yet? I just assumed that was the Voorhees thing.
No, that's
honestly,
the baby.
It's the baby.
I'm realizing right this second. It's the baby.
But it's like, so Jessica hears this entire spiel and does one of the most logical things you could after someone explains that to you, is punching them as hard as you can in their dick and then kicking them out of a car and then stealing it.
Well, here's the thing. It's like the smartest, dumbest thing you could do because like as an audience member, we know he's telling you the truth, girl. Trust him.
Yeah.
Right.
She's like, no, not around my baby.
And then she leaves and it goes back. I don't know. For me, Jessica, I was not on board with Jessica this whole movie. I couldn't.
I don't know if I was on board or not. I didn't know her well enough to really be like.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I didn't really care. And I guess I sort of kind of cared about Steven. I don't think there's one character, except maybe the baby, that I cared about in this movie.
And that's just because it's a baby.
Because it's a baby.
Well, and the same thing is for Leslie Jordan,
particularly...
just because it's Leslie Jordan.
Oh, I did feel for Leslie Jordan.
Yeah. Although we do get, oh man, this is actually one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie. We get his cop buddy showing up. Randy shows up and they have that good old fashioned Hollywood fist fight. And then this is my favorite fucking dialogue. So they're both exhausted and he goes, "Don't make me cuff you." And then Steven says, what makes you think I can?" Randy goes, "I've got a gun." And then Steven goes, "Fuck that. I've got a gun." And they realize they both have guns and they point them at each other. I laughed out loud for a solid 5 minutes when I saw that. It was like the most Tex Avery cartoon thing you could possibly do in a fucking horror movie.
I agree. I thought it was very funny.
But I also thought, like,
I don't even think I've
this
registered
time
it.
could have been better spent giving me more information. I needed to fast forward to this part.
Oh, yeah, it was funny, but it felt like
Creighton Duke wasn't enough.
Oh,
no, yeah. Well, yeah, it's like they could have added more, but they decided to keep this instead of like, I don't know, character development or exposition plot lines. I mean, but like now we get TV anchor Jason pulls a Terminator and straight up goes to the police station and goes on a murder spree while trying to mouth inseminate Jessica.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Steven gets there. We got some good shots in. Some pretty decent shots on Steven's part. I do like how anchor Jason does the double head smash to the two cops that show up.
And then they're instantly like ripped to
shreds.
Yes.
But this kill made me a little mad because he hits their foreheads together and their jaws are where the damage is somehow.
I think this is one of those where we're like, okay, we don't have forehead prosthetics. We have a bunch of jaw prosthetics from the gooey scene. Can we just do that? Cool. That's fine.
It's like maybe we take it one more time and push the right parts of their face together.
I did like how Steven was shooting though. Like he did this like 2-arm shoot, like running at, who was it? Jason? Yeah. No, not Jason.
TV anchor Jason. Yeah.
TV anchor Jason.
Oh my God. All right. So now we get back to the diner to get the baby. Joey
Which they
B
won't let them get.
Yeah. Oh my God. Points a gun at them. You're not going to steal that fucking ray of sunshine. Love Joey B. Pookie calls the station and, Shelby, but I call him Pookie in this one. Pookie calls the station, not getting an answer. And then, oh man, I feel bad for Ward. Ward goes immediately outside and TV anchor Jason's there. The gun struggle. Oh my God. Oh God. All right. Well, first, before that, we get that weird cartoon gun vision that shoots from the bullet into the fucking bullet cam. Oh my God. Bullet cam. We got a fucking bullet cam.
That's the weirdest
again.
Out of nowhere. Look at what you fucking done. Okay, Ward getting his wrist snapped with the bone sticking out. I audibly went like it was just.
I mean, any bone snapping gets me.
Yeah, it's that one. Like this is the same one from like what was that? The Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre one, where he's in the back of the van and he snaps that dude's wrist and stabs him in the face.
I haven't seen that movie in forever. So
okay, so now we get this very over the top slow mo shooting gallery that I'm going to glaze over. I'm going to do the opposite of what the movie did, and instead of doing an 8-minute thing, we're just going to go through that. Plot twist: the baby is not even at the diner. Duke has stolen this baby.
Mm-hmm. Is this when the lady who runs the diner gets punched in the face?
Oh no, I'm going back. Yeah, I'm just abridging. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Pookie's got the gun. He's shooting, and then we get a deep fryer death. And while he's getting deep fried in the deep fryer, Joey B is behind Anchor Voorhees as he elbows her so hard, her face turns into a puckered asshole.
Yeah.
Like it's literally a fucking butthole.
This.
Like she's holding Also, meanwhile, since if you forgot about the grunting, there is gratuitous grunting the entire slow-mo
because
sequence.
Vicky, I think that's her. She's like, while she's trying to pull back the gun.
Oh yeah,
it's
and
funny.
then she gets hers because she impales TV anchor Jason, and then he just reverses it and just pushes her into the fucking pipe and just murders her. Mm-hmm.
Doesn't he also like explode her head or something like that?
Like a pimple, Serge. Yeah. Like a pimple. Like it just goes.
Yeah,
that was pretty brutal. That was actually personal. Like I don't know.
Mm-hmm. That felt a little more personal. Like TV anchor as a human banged that woman and was like, all right, well, I go cover all my tracks.
I was kind of surprised in the scene that we didn't get Leslie Jordan's character like a close up of the face post deep fry.
Anything with it, right?
It was like a quick shot. Sure. It was like through the body,
like a blip of it.
Yeah.
I think that was a missed opportunity, especially if we're shooting for something, and maybe it was just a budgetary thing where, you know, we're paying for what we can, but
could be.
I feel like it could have been something that you like really honed in on for a good couple seconds.
Cody, if we had if he got deep fried, right, and then Voorhees flipped his head around, and then his whole head opened up like a bloomin' onion from Outback Steakhouse, like. That would have been amazing. I would have loved to have seen that.
On the grill, right?
Yeah,
like he's still frying.
Yes. Yeah, he's still.
What you really need, so to make a gooier already, you need deep fry cam, so you have a camera view of his face in the fryer bubbling up.
There we go.
And then he gets thrown onto the burning grill and then gets ripped off of that as well, so that we can get some more peel coming off from the grill.
And,
I like that. I like that.
You disgust me.
Thank you.
Thank you. I love that.
Real rusty schwimmer.
All right. So, Jessica leaves Steven in the dust, goes to the Voorhees house, meets up with Duke. Duke's got the baby. Tells him that Robert is dead and he won't be getting paid, but it's not about the money anymore because tonight is the night Jason Voorhees goes to hell. As he throws a knife and she grabs it, and like I said, in a He-Man style, it turns into the fucking Kandarian dagger of death.
Yeah,
but we can't say that. It's like the Gorefield version.
It's a lightsaber.
It's a lightsaber. Yeah.
So I was kind of mad at this though, because he's like, here, I'll give you your baby back. Here you go. Also, while your back is turned with this baby, I'm just going to throw this knife at you with no warning. And she's like, sure, let me catch it. And then
she's the one.
Activates. It reminded me a lot of the scene with Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where he throws the dagger at her and she catches it and she's like, oh my God, I am the one.
I am kind of frustrated though, because I feel like if I were Steven, when we were at the diner before we leave, Anchorman Jason is on the ground, unconscious. Like I would have just been like, just for shits. Like I'll hand her a gun and be like, can you just shoot him? Yeah, let's just see. And then movie over. Like that's it.
Could you just blow his whole head off? And if anything comes worming out of him, could you shoot that too?
But no, she has her own journey she needs to go on.
Everybody's important.
I'm kind of a little bit in a weird position, because in this moment I'm like, what the fuck? Why are there sparkly things now on the? How did this dagger turn into this thing?
Oh no!
But then
we
at
get
the same time,
full Dungeons and Dragons for no reason.
I'm a little bit of a hypocrite, because I then turn over to Terrifier 2, and then she also gets magic powers, and I'm like, yes, girl, you kill fucking Art the Clown.
Oh, interesting.
I think even the director said it's like, okay, so this you don't believe? Like a soggy swamp dead kid turning into like an undead like ghoul around a campsite, but you can't.
He gets defensive about this movie. He gets really like, does. Oh, you don't fucking come for me, okay? Yeah. I was 23, but I stand by my movie.
Can you imagine the amount of hate mail? I loved all
I love all the glowy effects. I love Glow Dagger. I love Jason getting punched in the face and then it glowing as it gets punched with like
blomp, blomp.
Like he's a fucking boss battle and his health is going down and he's about to start blinking red.
Right.
Or you're gonna get a cutscene where his health just comes back then magically.
Oh yeah,
full bar. Mm-hmm. Right. We got like a weird POV shot of the diner, and then like Anchor Jason jumps out again. That just gives us the MacGuffin. So back at the Voorhees house, cops show up, but nobody knows who's Jason and who's not Jason, because apparently now Jason has fucking talking capabilities. Because every other body he's just been able to grunt. So now he's like, no, don't do that. Stop it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, whoops, just killed the wrong cop. And the real one is it Randy?
Randy, yeah.
Yeah, Randy is now Jason, who tries to tongue, I guess, maybe the baby? Like, he goes after the baby first.
Oh, when he went for the baby, I was like, oh, no, don't do it.
Please don't. A bridge too far.
Right? Thankfully, Steven shows up, slices his fucking throat, and in this, like, this beautiful homage, I think, to, like, John Carpenter's The Thing, the head cocks over to the side like a goddamn Pez dispenser, and then this demon sperm tail fucking thing shoots out of his neck and skitters around.
What the hell is that?
I love that little thing.
I do think that this is a reference to The Thing, because in a couple minutes when he falls down through the floor, there's a box that says Julia Carpenter Arctic Expedition, and the only thing I could think of is that has to be a reference to The Thing because of the way that like this creature is.
You would think so, but it's actually the inscription on the crate from Creepshow. So like that's Fluffy's crate from Creepshow, surprisingly. And I can't confirm that it's the exact crate, but everything that I've read said that it was the crate from the film.
I mean, that's what it's definitely supposed to be. A reference to.
Yeah. But I get that, but I completely understand that how having that aspect, because that entire sequence, including like the weird sinews in the neck and all the crazy spreading, is so John Carpenter's.
It's very much that.
Where it's like K&B was like, all right, we're doing a Thing ripoff, and that's what we're going to be doing here. Also, I got weird Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, when she makes that casserole monster. Like, that's also what I got from this like weird thing shooting out of the neck.
What is this thing? Why is this thing so big all of a sudden? Like, we've only ever seen it as this tiny worm thing that's a transference. So why is when his neck cut open, it's this bigger grown creature? I love the little guy, but what the hell is like the logic of this?
I liked him.
I love this horrible little creature.
I liked him until he well, I guess, I mean, if you're dead, it's not really a thing about consent. He just starts going ham,
there's
and then
no consent.
There's no consent because he goes right up the birth canal of Diana in the basement, and from that. Holy Mother of God, we get a fully furnished hockey mask welding Jason Voorhees, lumpy man himself, jumping through the basement and onto the first floor.
I like to imagine
he got his powers back. This Doom version.
He's back, baby.
So my question, and this is my last note for the movie, is: so that little guy crawled into the mom's corpse downstairs and turned into Jason?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
Well, through a Voorhees.
Because he finally got to a Voorhees. Reborn. And he decided to be reborn as Lumpy Jason?
Didn't have to say they had to be alive.
I really thought that
he
was going to go back to like...
Wouldn't you try to go back like...
a different version of Jason or something like... Right? Because
you weren't always
you
already
killed that body.
Be like, oh.
You didn't have to be
it was like the Doctor.
Yeah, I do have to say, I was not expecting him to just like regain his body. I thought it was going to be something like he like he goes for the kid, and then it's ambiguous whether or not he like actually succeeded. So then you're always gonna have this question of whether your kid is now Jason. But no, that's not what happened.
Very
at all.
literal. He literally, you turn into Jason again. The one we saw at the beginning. The dumbest looking Jason.
The dumbest, the weirdest looking Jason. So they're trying to find the dagger, and then Duke chains himself to Jason, and then he says, "You remember me? Or you son of a bitch, you remember me?" Which no one does, because there's no context for that line, like Sam said earlier on the episode.
But then he says, like, "You're going to die," or something like that. But yet he's literally in a position where he's about to crack her, like, back.
Oh, yeah, and then he just instantaneously gets his spine shattered.
Yeah,
and then,
like, okay.
Oh, God. And then, we get another window smash. Steven bomb rushing Jason Voorhees through a window, which was fun. Yeah. Jason gets up, and then I like that he gets attacked by a rake and then starts beating the living shit out of Steven with the rake handle. And then we get more fighting when we have the infamous shovel fight where Jason Voorhees is like gets hit with a shovel a bunch of times and then just grabs the shovel and just starts beating the fuck out of him.
It's funny because when Jason gets hit with it, it's like ting. It sounds like it's like hitting something metal or solid. Right. And then when it's hitting Steven, it's more of like a thwack. Thwack. I do like the two different sound designs.
Attention to details there.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then Jason throws Steven through the goddamn jungle gym. And if that jungle gym seems familiar to anybody, it is the exact same jungle gym as used in The Birds. Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. The entire that sequence where they're all in the jungle gym, that's the same one.
I knew it. I saw that jungle gym. I said, that's the goddamn jungle gym from Birds.
That's the one from The Birds, baby.
I was too busy paying attention to the fact that, like, that like this is ostensibly for someone to like crawl on and like play in and shit, but it's not like secured to the ground
it's not
at
stable
all. Like this will kill a child.
100%. It almost kills Steven. He gets like rolled over.
Yeah, he's like rolling in there.
Like, oh fuck! It like breaks every bone in his body.
And then out of nowhere,
Jessica jumps through. Oh my God. And she jumps on a mysterious box because she's definitely jumping on something before jumping onto his back because Kane Hodder's too tall, but they don't really explain that. And then stabs Jason in the heart with the secret Voorhees dagger. And then it looks like she fucking hit the money shot because we get weird lights, souls emitting out, or maybe like dark conjuring magic, and lots of ominous lighting, as in, but it's like they're kind of doing this fight thing where it's not kind of there, and she goes, "Go to hell." Is it go to hell? Like, go to hell. And then she just kicks the fucking dagger.
Steven's doing his punching thing, and he's punching on Jason in the mask, in the hawk. Yes. Finally, we're getting some more terrible hawk. And it's like doing that like glowy, bing, like bing, bing. Dust flying off every time he hits it. And then he's like, "Go to," and then she comes up and does the kick, and she's like, "Hell." And then that kicks the knife into him, and that's when we get like the signal to blow. I don't know, the other world to start UFO? Shooting down. Yeah, like
it's a UFO. It's literally a tractor.
But there's giant hands coming out of the ground.
Well, yeah, we get our fucking UFO shots, and then the giant hands.
Yeah, Marvel's The Thing is reaching up through the ground and pulling him back.
Sam, are you talking about the Muppet oven mitts of hell that decide just to emerge out of nowhere and drag? It is. It's like literally the Thing, as in like Marvel's Fantastic Four. It's just all of these. And apparently it was supposed to be done in like stop motion animation, and they probably couldn't afford to do that, so they like haphazardly. It looks like they took just foam and then just carved it real quick and like, all right, just slap them around.
Yeah, what they needed to do was switch the deaths of the sheriff and Jason. So like put all your money on Jason's death, because I could use like ripping of the mask and like skin like ripping and like I
want to see what's under the mask.
Like, you know, like I could have done that, but all they did was like, "You're mine."
Well, this is him going to hell. Like, right? They got to show some sort of, I don't know, pulling down to hell and being reclaimed, so like he gets, or some shit. Like, however,
sucked into the earth, and some like the UFO light dissipates, and then like turns into like Star Trek dust.
It's just like a sand pit.
Worst hell.
Yeah, it's just a sand pit.
It looked like something. Honestly, it looked like something from Tremors, where I was like, "Oh, so he got eaten by like a graboid." All right, so we get
They're
that.
really bringing it all into this one.
Every single thing. Like, it makes sense that a 23-year-old horror nerd made this movie with the amount of Easter egg references throughout this entire thing.
Yeah.
He grew up obsessed with horror. He was best friends with the Cunningham. So when they, like, he was best friends with Noel when Sean made the first one. So, like, he's been going to all the Friday movies.
God,
He saw
That's sweet.
8. He saw the premiere of, I think, 8.
So that makes
Or
sense.
no,
More
he
of
saw
a
the third
disappointment.
one with them.
Brian's
Are you
more
sure
mad.
that it wasn't just something that like Sean Cunningham was like, you know what? If you're gonna have any movie that starts your debut, it may as well. I mean, it's the 9th Friday the 13th movie. Like, how badly can you screw it up? And the question was answered, but
all right, yeah. So we get like 90s kissing in the daytime. Everything's totally cool. We get a hint of
Classic
Deathwind.
90s kissing in the daytime.
Just 90s, and like holding a baby, walking through the sunset, like everything's going great. We get a little bit of a Deathwind, and we get our most surprising Easter egg of them all. Nope, it's not the dog. It's goddamn Freddy Krueger's glove coming up and taking that hawk straight to hell with him.
it was a good ending.
It was a pretty good ending. Also a blatant, like, we need to do this Freddy vs. Jason movie now. Like, let's just do this now.
Right.
I can't believe that it was like 10 years later. That's crazy.
Right?
People
It's like
had to wait 10 years.
Not for me.
Well, I mean, if you make a movie like
days,
this,
maybe.
it takes 10 years
I was like,
to
wait, did
recoup
you
that.
time travel? Like,
That bloop bloop.
Yes, actually.
All right. Well, I think we completely dragged this entire movie to hell. So we're going to we are going to take a little bit of a
gooed it
break,
to
and we're
hell.
going to hop right into our crematorium of questions.
I would like to say that I think this movie had some really good ideas. It just had no idea how to execute them and tried to put too many together.
This was a somewhat decent Evil Dead movie.
Yes.
Could have been.
Absolutely.
Could have been.
Okay. And we're back. Thank you for that lovely comedic interlude. Guys, are we surviving this, and how are we trying to survive Jason Goes to Hell? Shy of just probably not being a Voorhees, I think probably solves it, and just getting the hell out of Jason's way.
moving from Jersey to like somewhere, anywhere else.
I think honestly the solution to a lot of problems is just moving the fuck out of New Jersey.
Well, at this point, living near Camp Crystal Lake, you like
Burn it down.
You
Burn
know
down.
what may happen to you. I'm not victim blaming, but I am saying that there was an easy solution.
You gotta, yeah, when the town's got a track record of a bunch of people dying almost annually, you may not, like, you know, I don't know.
Well, and in this one, you need a dental dam for sure. That should help. And then
Protection
is if all these, well,
that helps you from possession. But
so Jason helps you from possession, but also if all these Jasons we've seen before were possessed by this demon worm, we know Jason falls for cosplay still. So you could cosplay one of these whatever he's taken over and been like, oh no, I'm your daughter, don't do it, or whatever, and get away from it that way.
That does constantly work. Yeah. I mean, ultimately you could probably always bring it back to his mother. I think in terms of possession, Sam, you're probably the first to go just because you have the least amount to shave. So you might go for easy. I think with this, Jason, it might be beneficial to have a facial hair just as a deterrent.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, Jason's going to look at Ross. Well, he's going to look at you like, well, kill you, kill you.
Abduct
Maybe I'll try to
me and then
you.
shave me down.
No, he's killing you.
So
You're
hold
too
on,
much of
Jason-
a hassle to shave.
Jason
true.
looks at us and he plays fuck, marry, kill.
Pretty
Yes,
much.
absolutely. All right.
You had fuck.
We've seen. All right. How do we make it gooier? Is there anything in this that you'd want to see gooier? I do like the bloomin' onion face in the diner.
Yeah,
I
we
think
did
that
the
would
one
be a lot
kill.
gooier.
Oh yeah.
I
I
explained
don't
that scene. I
know.
think
For the
that
most
works,
part, it's
but
pretty gooey movie. I don't really need to add anything.
Right.
I agree that it doesn't need to be too much more. It just needed to be Jason doing it.
Right. Where's
Even then, if it were
where's
just
Lumpy
better.
Jason resting in our villain level. This is a tough one.
Lumpy Jason.
Lumpy Jason. This is like
so power levels of. I'm giving a 5 because it's even more powerful.
Demonic
than
at this point. Yeah, he's a Deadeye. Like
the iconography. This is the worst looking Jason. All the other ones don't. The people.
There's also multiple
obviously
looks.
don't even look like Jason, right?
Yeah.
And none of
he
them
does
are
like a Lady
looking,
Gaga
so
amount of like costume changes of meat suits throughout this entire thing.
But you also get weird little worm guy. Like that's Jason.
Yeah,
right?
Worm Guy's great too.
Oh,
isn't that
him.
true, Jason?
Right.
That's the truest form.
I have him resting right at around between a 7 and an 8 for me. Just because, like, although I hate TV anchor Jason, coroner Jason was pretty decent. Cop Jason I thought was just kind of funny. But then you also get like sperm-tailed Jason seed thing critter running around.
Jason in his purest form seems to be Jason at his weakest as well, right? Because it seems so
deep.
I think you could say that.
I get what this 23-year-old is going for.
I get what this guy was going for, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna get.
I don't know. I thought
Coroner
was the best out of this whole thing.
I agree. I think Coroner Jason was good. I mean,
so they get a 1 point.
I would feel. I mean, I'm actually kind of feeling like a 6 because I feel like
6.
I feel. I agree with like the power level is really high, but in a genre that is full of so many iconic villains, even within this franchise, there's a lot of really iconic Jasons, and this one just isn't it for me.
No.
But you do remember the bubbly head Jason, though.
Chewed up bubble gum.
The chewed up bubble gum Jason. I feel like you do remember him.
I would, yeah. It is. It's just weird. I don't know if you like. He's so weird to me because I do like certain aspects of how Jason looks in this movie, but I think overall, I don't know if he's memorable because I like it or it's memorable because he's so off-putting for being Jason in like not the best ways. Like, cause he's like, I don't know, he's a little bit of like the chonk. He's like more Elephant Man with a hockey mask than like normal zombified Jason. But maybe that could just be all that hell spirit coming out of him.
One of my first notes for the movie is this is the fucking worst looking Jason easily. It's an earthbound -10.
Wow.
So that's the opposite of a cosmic 10.
Wow. So I'm gonna lead right into that. Do you think this deserves this? Like what kind of sequel are we thinking for this?
No.
Jason Goes to Mardi Gras.
Oh.
See, I was gonna say Jason is in hell, and it's just him wandering around hell.
That's what I thought this movie was my whole life. I don't know why.
Well, the poster
because I thought
really
he went to hell, like Ernest Goes to Jail.
I said the same thing. I was expecting that at one point we would have like a Jason is in hell and like kills his way back out of it somehow.
Yes, I would love. I know he's Deadite in canon from this, but I'd much rather see him fight Deadites. I think that would be sick as fuck.
Ooh, yeah.
Or demons or something like.
Oh,
give me
man.
that. That's
dude,
awesome.
throw Ash in a cabin with a bunch of Deadites and then Jason Voorhees shows up would be fucking so good. Are you guys? I mean, all right. I know that it's like OG composer. Are we buying the soundtrack to Jason Goes to Hell? I was like, at first 5 minutes, I was like, oh yeah. And then I got to title sequence with the fucking anxiety panic attack. I was like, oh no, I couldn't. It'd be like,
I don't remember the soundtrack at all.
I don't think I do.
Yeah. No.
Which also is a no.
I tried to think of it, but then I think of the soundtrack to Jason X, which is just like a lot of horns.
It's like ska music.
Just bagpipes.
Oh my god! This whole score is done by the Mighty Boss Tones. All right, I know he's not the best looking Jason. Is anything in here action figure worthy? Would you want like anchor Jason with projectile worm shooting out of his mouth?
I
want the heart.
Ooh, stress ball.
Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, the little.
Oh, an explodable Jason would be cool.
Oh,
like
that's true.
You press a button and all his pieces fly away.
I like
Maybe
that.
it sparks.
I can dig that. Any merch or prop? I want Jason's head from the autopsy. I can just put that on just a fucking and just throw that on there.
I want that horrible little creature.
Ooh.
For sure.
I'll take the hawk.
Yeah.
But I'm not happy about it.
But not the head. But not the head.
No, I don't want the head.
It's all fused together. Oh, actually, shit. I'm taking the Necronomicon.
I was going to say
nice
that.
Call.
Yes.
Nice.
I'm gonna be the creep and take the woman split in half.
I meant to take that. I'm glad you said that.
Every time you ring the doorbell at your house, it just opens like. Oh my god! All right. I think we're just gonna go straight to ratings, guys. It's now time to pull out our, if not our Kirkland brand Kandarian daggers, and we cut off our fingers as we rate this movie on our Chuddle scale. All right, so 0 to 5 fingers. You can do half a finger or no finger. Let's start it off with, you know what? It's your franchise, Sam. Let's start off with you.
Oh boy. My franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Well. What do we have here? If it isn't Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. Engaging. That's going to be a... Whoa, I just rolled into the microphone.
Well, roll it.
Oh my god.
That'll sound good. That's going to be a big fat 0.5. Watched this movie. Tried to watch this movie 3 times. So the first time I watched it, I was really sick. It was on October the 13th, Friday the 13th. And I was like, I don't see why everybody shits on this movie. It's not that bad. I get it because it's not Jason, but this isn't as bad as it seems. And then when I rewatched it, I was like, oh, maybe it is. Like, it's a cool concept, but they didn't do a great job with it. And then trying to watch it a third time, I was like, I don't think I can actually watch it this time. Point of all that is to say 0.5 on engaging. Sticky. I will definitely remember parts of this. Certainly, just if anything, the worm possession aspect of it. And I think the heart eating at the beginning is pretty. I don't know if it's iconic, but it's unforgettable. T-shirtable. Yuck.
Yuck. Wow.
I think that's going to be a 0. The poster's kind of cool. It's not cool enough for a shirt. There's no particular imagery I like in it that much. I certainly don't like the movie enough. So, yeah, 0 there. Cockles. There are parts of this I like. The parts of this I like, I'm like, see, this is kind of cool. It's just all the other stuff that doesn't work. So I'll throw it a 0.5 on Cockles. And rewatchable. Am I ever coming back to this movie?
Yeah, you are.
I don't think so. So that's a 1.5. I'm fine with that. That works for me.
I can dig it. Let's go to the horror bandwagon. What do you guys think?
Wow. Who do you want to go first?
I'll go first. All right. So I think for engaging, I would also give this a 0.5. I agree that it was definitely an interesting concept that I think could have been explored better in a different franchise. But this was okay. Sticky, I'll give this a 0.5 also. Because there are definitely things that are gonna stick with me. T-shirtable. I've been trying to think of something that would be a cool T-shirt, and I really can't. Unless honestly, the only thing that I can think of, and this would just be a joke T-shirt more than anything else, is have the Necronomicon and then have it be Friday the 13th Part 9. Jason Goes to Hell.
Oh, sure.
That would be great.
Like a mashup shirt.
Yeah.
So I'll give that a 0. Cockles. I think I also want to give some credit for the concept here because I do really like it. So I'm going to give this a 0.5. Rewatchable. I think I'm going to be the same as you, Sam. This is a 0 for me. It's 1.5 overall. That feels right
for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, feels right.
Do you want me to go next?
Yeah.
Okay. Engaging. It's so strange because I remember watching this movie when I was little and I thought it was actually pretty enjoyable. But now that I watched it, we kept pausing this movie so many times. We were not engaged. We had to rewind to be like, wait, what the fuck happened? And then we had to watch it again. So I'm going to say 0.5. Sticky. I honestly, I'm surprised I remembered as much as I did during this podcast. So 0.5. T-shirtable. I guess I would just have no, I don't think I would wear the poster on a t-shirt unless it was all covered in flames. But then I don't know if that's is that cool? Is that good?
What if it's like a Guy Fieri button down?
That's what I was like. I'm gonna look like Guy Fieri, just like those kind of flames.
Bedazzled too.
Welcome to Helltown, baby.
I can't find a t-shirt. No, I think it's 0.5. Cockles.
T-shirts 0.5?
Yeah, I'll do a 0.5. Because the flames, maybe.
Right.
Cockles, I'm going to do a 0.5. Rewatchable. Again, I think maybe there's just more nostalgia for me than it is actually the quality of the content. So
sure, yeah.
I think I would rewatch it. Realistically, I'll put it on. It's Halloween. AMC is showing it on TV. Yeah, I'll see it.
We'll sit and watch it.
0.5.
2.5 out of 5. Does that feel right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That feels good.
That was tough.
I have to really process it.
0.5 in every category.
Bry Guy, what are you giving this?
Engaging.
Not
engaged.
Yeah, that's gonna be a 0.5. This score is probably gonna mimic some other ones as well. Sticky is gonna get a 0.5. T-shirtable, I want nothing to do with it. It's gonna get a 0. What's our next category? Why cockles? Jesus Christ, I am just blanking on everything here.
Oh no.
0.5 because I did love the 90s-ness of it, and I appreciated a lot of the concepts, and I liked some ideas going here. It just was not done well. But 0.5 rewatchable gets a 0 because I don't care to watch this again. It's just not that interesting enough. So it gets the 1.5, which I think is great for me as well.
Poif. Mine's gonna be a little different. All right. So engaging. Honestly, engaging is going to be with pretty much everyone here. Engaging is 0.5. I think engaging. I was engaged with what was going on, but because so many plot points were neutered throughout the movie, including the uncensored one, is that like I kind of just got to a point where like I'm okay with not knowing who the hell half of these people are in context before they get killed. Like I'm like, okay, whatever. This is kind of the ecosystem. Sticky. I am a special effects freak. So having KMBFX, like I am doing Sticky primarily for the insane gore in the unedited, like the body melt, the body getting cleaved in half, like the hell spawn. All of that is getting a 1 for me because it's just, although they could have been in any other movie and it still would have gotten a 1. T-shirtable is going to get a goose egg from me. Yeah, it is a Friday the 13th, but like honestly, I don't know if I would actually wear anything from this movie. I mean, I do like the gore effects. It's just like even those aren't good enough for me to put on.
Shirt of the lady split in half in a tent.
Yeah, right. It's like that's not gonna, No. I mean, I could, but why not? Okay, and then like solely just because of how fucking bonkers this movie is, for whatever reason, Cockles gets a full 1. Cockles, they weren't eviscerated, but like the amount of horror nerd Easter eggs in this fucking movie alone is just God, it's just dripping with nerd boy vibes. when it comes to horror, and I'm like, I'm in it to win it. Like, this isn't like Troll 2 for me, but like, this is very, like, it's so bad it's good. Like, I enjoy this because of how shitty this movie is. And like, everybody worked real hard, and it was like, it's kind of like in shop class where everybody makes birdhouses, and like, this thing is haphazardly done with popsicle sticks and glue, and a bird would definitely die if you actually let it live in there. But like, you're still going to give credit because they tried really hard. Rewatchable is going to get a 0.5. So I would, because I'm not going to watch it all the time, but like with Sergio, like if this is on TV, I'm not turning it off. Like,
wait, like, what if we're over and we're like, you know what? Can we watch
anytime?
Part 9?
Anytime.
Chapter?
Open door policy with part 9. Anytime anybody wants to watch Jason Goes to Hell, all things will stop, and I will immediately put this movie on for you guys.
Perfect.
So yeah, that gives me a 3, I think.
Yeah.
Which feels high. Real fucking high for this movie.
Does it?
But you know what? You kind of have to be to watch it, so I'm okay with that.
That's fair. That's fair.
Say, I can see why it feels high, but based on how you've talked about it, I think maybe you like it more than you think you do.
Oh, 100%. Like, on a re-rate, I might actually bump this to a 3.5. Like, it's so fucking bonkers. Like, if you can get past the fact of that, like, the plot holes are there and everything's just fucking upside down and wackadoo, like, it's a Wonka Vader of Friday the 13th, and I'm fucking in it for the ride.
Great.
All right, guys.
Wonka Vader?
Wonka Vader. It goes upways, sideways, upways, backwards, all over the place. You have no idea where this movie's going, but like, I'm just enjoying the ride. Can we talk about the final thingaling?
What's our average score, and do other people in the?
Oh, that's right. Do we get anybody in the Discord to do it?
I thought I saw some peeps.
We have a few.
Then I recant my thingaling.
No thingaling for us.
No thingaling for you.
What do we do first? The Discord, right?
Sure.
So
let's get to Discord babies up in here.
Discord babies.
Club members had to say in the Discord, if you want to be part of this, jump in the Discord and let us know your thoughts. This is from Weird. She says it's funny on the scale. She'd say 3.5, but if she goes by fingers, T-shirtables 1, stickies 1, rewatchables 1, cockles 1, engaging is 1. It's a full 5 if you go by her scale.
Ooh.
Well, she would have thought it was 3.5 otherwise, which, wow, cool. I'm not sure which way to go, but that's interesting. Then our friend Mystery Street, what did his name end up being? I don't remember. Fuck this movie with the rusty machete. That's what he said about it. So, sort of opposite there, but totally understandable. Oh, then I shared, you can choose to watch this movie on the DVD with a director's introduction. And the introduction's like 5 seconds long, and it's just him being like, hey, thanks for purchasing what's probably the 4th copy of this movie. And then it introduces the movie. That's it.
Love it.
Wow.
Let's see here. T-Boo says engaging is a full finger because it's a bizarre and creative entry. Sticky's a 1. He says, tell me you don't remember Tumor, Jason, and Goojaw in that ending. You lying. T-shirtable, he says, Mais Yasha, that's a 1. I want Jason trapped in that jungle gym on a shirt or being pulled down by all those dirt-clawed hands. Cockles, half a finger. I wanted a little more Jason, and the final fight was too clunky. Rewatchable, yet another fingy. It's a solid entry in the comic book Jason realm. 4.5 out of 5. And it's a 10. And then we have the Witchy Cajun saying, I heard bananas are supposed to be a good colon cleanser, but I'm about to give up on that and just start eating them instead. Oh, and I really like this one. 5 bananas out of 5.
All right.
Perfect.
Yes.
And that's the quality content that you get in our Discord.
Oh yeah.
And then what else? I think we got a little bit more.
Yeah, we just got a bunch of nonsense talking. That was pretty much it for it.
A bunch of nonsense after that. Okay, cool.
I do have to chime in really
so
quickly.
The club seems to like it way more than we do.
So was it Tibu? I think Tibu said it that the fight at the end was clunky, and I have to agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like at the end of these movies, you always see like Jason being like the protagonists are like coming up with some bizarre way to trap Jason, have to like chain him up, have to take him out to the water, have to trick him to be, you know, like you're their mom. But like here, they're like, pat, and then she's like, I got you from behind. I'm like, what?
Like, and then like hit in the face with a shovel. Or it's like, okay, fair enough.
So yeah, I agree.
Where does this sit in our moviedom of ranking of fingers?
2. So that's on the same level as Martyrs and Puppet Master. It is our lowest rated Jason movie. The next on that would be Friday the 13th Part 2, which has a 2.5.
Ooh.
So
interesting.
Wow. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
Our final thingling is real quick. Would you rather have the puke slug, or would you like to eat someone's heart out? And more importantly, eat Jason's heart.
Ooh.
Eat your heart out.
Things are coming into your mouth, but it's either going to be putrefied heart cocktail mix or an actual puke slug.
Oh, I'll take the heart cocktail. I guess.
I'll have the heart.
I'll eat the heart.
I don't really like.
All of us are probably heart. Yeah.
Besides intimate situations, I don't want anything coming into me, please.
The intimate time is the only time you want to puke slug in your mouth.
I'm fucking drawing the line. Yeah. That's a good line. Oh my god.
I keep my puke slugs in the bedroom.
Thank you very much. Yes. Oh, and on that beautiful, beautiful note, that does it for the Chuddle the Pod Movie Club meeting for tonight. Thank you so much, Horror Bandwagon, for being with us on this ride to hell and back.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us where we can find you, how we can find you?
In the Bronx. No, I'm kidding. We're not. We're not there. You can search up the Horror Bandwagon on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, on where else are we? Who else we know? We have a Patreon. We also have a Discord where people talk.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you could. Did we say YouTube?
We said
so.
YouTube.
You did. That's the main.
We need to be more prepared for this. Sorry, guys.
Go to their YouTube, watch their react.
They're fantastic.
They're hilarious.
I just
My wife likes them more than she likes us.
Yes, I literally said the exact same thing. We just finished the Five Nights at Freddy's reaction, which was fantastic.
Thank you.
And as you know, we are a movie club, and you club members are the heart and soul. So don't forget to jump into our Discord, the best place to continue this conversation with us, as well as other fans, past guests. Horror Bandwagon pops in. We also have writers, directors, phantoms. I think we had a military guy in there for 0.2 seconds. You can follow Sam and Brian on Letterboxd. Chuddle the Sam and Chuddle the Brian. You can find me on Instagram.
You can be the first person to listen to this and follow me that way.
Right. You can follow me at Ross Purvis on Instagram for some tattooing and all that fun stuff. If you've made it this far, thank you guys for listening. Biggest thing would be to rate, review, and like puke slugs, pass it on to a friend. If you like Chuddle, I'm not saying you have to puke into their mouth, but maybe
puke
word
it into
vomit.
their ears.
Puke it in their ears. Puke the word vomit into their ears. That is Chuddle. Slug. And spread the good word.
This is really the sign-off you should expect from Chuddle the Pod.
This is the quality that you get every episode on Chuddle the Pod.
Keep going, Ross. Keep going.
Thank you guys, and until next time, avoid the time of the